Okay. In that case, we will begin in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was just a language thing. That's all. I'll fix it later.
1, 2, 3 levels. Okay. Picking up from where we last left off, you, adventurers from a foreign land, found yourself in Barovia, a mysterious realm surrounded by deadly fog and ruled by Lord Strahd von Zarovich. Using a deck of tarot cards to predict your future, a fortune teller named Madame Ava set you on a dark course that promised you a journey ahead of you. That one that would take you to the many corners of Barovia, your fate culminating at the threshold of Castle Ravenloft. In this land of ghosts, werewolves, and fell creatures, the wilderness hides many secrets amid the forgotten ruins that tell the story of Strahd, the Conqueror, and the cursed legacy bestowed upon him. As for the people of Barovia, there is no escape from this harsh land. You find yourselves within the sanctuary of a fortified town by the name of Vallaki. The oppressed town, ran by Burgomaster Vallaki, is a place of despair, hidden behind a false mask of jubilation and weekly festivities. It is here you secure shelter for Irina Kalyana, the adopted daughter of Burgomaster Kalyanovic and Strahd's latest obsession. Few dare protect her, nor harm the woman, lest they incur the vampire's wrath. But not you. Set in your pursuit of your foretold destinies to scour Strahd's domain for answers that may aid in your escape from this land, you few who refuse to cower beneath the shadow of Castle Ravenloft have taken upon yourselves the burden of restoring light to this land. Until recently, the Morning Lord Church of St. Andral was protected from Strahd's depredation by the bones of the titular saint himself, sealed in a crypt beneath the church's main altar. It seems someone broke into the crypt a few nights ago and stole the bones. Having made a promise to Father Lucian, the local priest, you began your search for the saint's hallowed bones so that the church may be consecrated once more. Your search led you to an orphanage at the heart of Vallaki, where all evidence point to the town's gravedigger, a brawny lad named Milivoy. The boy had succumbed into a deep slumber, sapped of his life force. You found the source of this strength drain, and having rid the orphanage from a haunting evil presence, Milivoy now wakes from his sickness, clutching his head as he rises to find himself surrounded by strangers. Water, please. Morning Lord's mercy, give me some water.
I will pick up my water skin and hand it to him. You gave us quite a fright. You were nearly dead.
Rubbing his temples, he takes the water skin and, taking a slow gulp of drink, he wipes his mouth and brow sweat with his shirt. Weakly he mutters, "What happened? Is Felix alright? My head's all fucked up. Last thing I remember is trying to talk to him. Next thing I know, my legs gave out and darkness took over me. How long have I been out?"
Several days.
Days?
At least. Yes. Which is unfortunate. But at least you were able to survive. You are quite strong, actually, for no mortal. You are surprisingly resilient to the curse that was laid upon you. I will say, Felix had no direct part in the curse. He himself was cursed. So it was not his fault in any way. He was possessed by something to cause this.
Is he alright now?
Yes, we were able to break the possession and keep him alive. He
Seems-
should be resting at this point, recovering from the torment that he experienced. After all, he saw everything that the possessor did while in control of him.
Curse this land. Curse this land and everything it represents, everything it harbors. We do what we must to survive, but sometimes it's just not enough.
Yes. This land is cursed.
He looks around, trying to get up. Still too weak, you can see his muscles spasm as he rights himself against the headboard. Frustration seems to work its way back, furrowing his brow. I try so hard to protect them, you know? My younger siblings. Father, Lucian. Sometimes I wonder if it's enough. I don't know what it would take for us to be free of Barovia's curse. Sometimes I lose hope of any escape.
Oh.
And then you show up, you outsiders. Every few months, more come, pass by. Some perish. Some disappear into the woods, never to be seen again. But you keep coming.
Yes. Yes, though not by choice necessarily. It's more like we stumble into this land.
It seems that choice is not something that many of us get around here. Not even the villagers of a town. But I thank you. Thank you all for your efforts. What brought you here? I'm not sure
We
if
were
it's...
actually looking for information.
What sort of information? Anything, I hope.
There were, a little while back, there was a robbery at the church across the street. We were hoping that you would have seen something at night. We were seen somewhere near there at that time.
He
That's
seems
what
to
was stolen.
Twin Peak, recognizing what you're talking about. His eyes begin to dark to and through in a sort of a panic as he is working really hard to try and come up with something to say. And then very unconvincingly he goes, I wish I could help, but I've been so sick that I haven't been near the church in the last few days.
You and I both know that's a lie. I have seen far better liars than you.
If you wish, you could roll me like intimidation or persuasion, a charisma roll essentially, to see how.
Yeah. I will go persuasion because I'm trying to cajole him into talking.
Tell me the truth. Yeah.
That's a 7.
I don't know what you're applying. I've been here, sick, as you said, dying. His face begins to twist with a sort of sense of shame. Father wouldn't want me to lie. All right, I suppose I should face my sins. It was me. I stole the bones. But you must understand, I only did this to feed my younger sisters and brothers. Coin is hard to come by, and while the burgomaster may proclaim that all will be well, is far from it. I did what I had to do to take care of those who can't take care of themselves.
I understand that. Those bones have put this town... The loss of those bones has put this town in danger. Do you happen to know where they are? Do you still have them?
How long has it been? A few days?
You have a week.
I would imagine Henrik still has them, the coffin maker. When I told him of the bones, he offered me gold in return for stealing the bones. I mean, what good is a dead man's remains compared to a bowl of soup for a starving child? Punish me if you must, but I know I did the right thing. I did right by the little ones.
With the information you had, you did. What you don't know is that those bones were important and provided benefits, though you couldn't necessarily see. Rest well. You may yet need your strength.
How much money did Henrik give you for the bones?
A few silver pieces, enough to buy food, water, some rations for the little ones. I even managed to save up enough to buy one of Blinsky's toys. I think I still have some remaining in my room.
And did he ask for the bones, or you told him? Who mentioned it first?
I mean, he was really adamant on inquiring about the nature of the bones. And, I mean, you have to understand, he offered gold. He offered means to feed the little ones, so I told him. He came back a few days later and asked me to steal them.
Wait, he came back a few days later and asked about it after learning of them. Wait a minute.
I didn't ask questions. I just wanted money. I just
yes,
needed...
I know you. That's okay.
He didn't tell me what he was gonna do with them. He just told me not to worry about it and take the coal, so I did. I was desperate. Maybe I did wrong, but the children.
Yes, they'll need you strong. They will need resources.
Have you met a fellow named Bluto before?
Yeah, he's the town drunk. He comes by the inn every now and then, trading fish for wine. I mean, I've spent a few nights drinking along with him, but I wouldn't say we're friends.
Does he come often to the orphanage?
Sometimes. I mean, I wouldn't imagine him being a father or anything. In fact, I'm not quite sure what he even does coming here to the orphanage. But he is a strange man. He's hollowed, you see, one of the soulless ones. So I don't really question his behavior.
Yes, we've met him. He's quite empty. He's lost hope. Something you do not appear to have yet. After all, you were willing to try things.
I'm willing to do right by the kids, and if what you say is true, and I'm willing to bear the burden and take responsibility for my action. Let me come with you. I can.
No, you are far too sick. You're barely recovered as it stands. You need to stay here.
Doesn't seem to have enough strength to argue the point.
Does he look strong enough to walk? Or
he looks quite brawny, quite well muscled, especially from days working the graveyard and digging graves. While he's still recovering, a little bit pale of skin, he's well built, and you would imagine that a short rest or such will be enough to get him back into walking state. He just needs to eat something, have some water. I mean, he just woke up from his coma.
Yeah.
Whatever spell afflicted him has worn off completely.
Do you know where Henrik lives, or where he used to go?
The coffin maker's shop. It's located in the east side of town, past the town square, neighboring the Arsok stockyards. You just follow the main road all the way to the east, and just before the gates, make a make a turn into the stockyards, his shop resides there, you will recognize it by the sign outside, shaped like a coffin.
Thank you. We will make haste and go there and try and figure out what's going on.
He is a troubled man. I don't blame him for what he does, for his mind is boggled and muddled like swamp water. Be gentle on him.
Of course.
We'll try.
He's a friend. The gravedigger and the coffin maker.
Yes. We'll do our best.
Are you gonna tell Father Lucian about this?
I don't think that it will help on anything, honestly. If we tell him, so why mention it? What do you guys think?
I'm sure Father Lucian would understand.
I don't know if he'll take me back if he finds out what I did.
And then will it change the outcome?
Probably not.
No need to mention it then.
Then I thank you
Okay.
again. I wish there was another way. I wish I didn't have to do what I've done. Maybe one day.
Yeah, and in the future, try to avoid blessed items or cursed items.
I didn't know what it was. Bones are bones. I'm a gravedigger.
Yes, bones are bones. But
He doesn't seem like he's, even though he works in like a church, he doesn't seem like he knows much about like arcana and like divine magic. He's like a common folk.
he's a relatively simple laborer who's doing his best. Yeah. So I'm actually gonna take one of my rations out and I'll hand it to him. Say, here, eat up or give that out to some of the other children.
He takes half,
I'll get
putting it in a bowl beside his bedside, and then turns to you and just asks, Where is Felix now?
He's upstairs.
I think we had brought him.
Yeah, like wherever. I don't remember
Down.
myself where he is. Wherever he is, he intends to like share half rations with Felix as well.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a forgiveness.
Yeah,
gesture.
we
it wasn't
had-
his fault.
Yeah, we had brought him down, I think, and at least talked to the matron with him a little bit.
Okay.
I spaced
not
out
much.
for a minute. I didn't notice.
Yeah.
He will take his time to recover his strength, munching on the rations.
I'll go. Let's go find him, and I'll send him in here to talk to you. If you want.
Sure. You find Felix in a nearby ward, in the makeshift infirmary of the orphanage. He lays in a tiny bed fit for his size, low to the ground. The matron of the house is petting his forehead as she damps it with a wet cloth. He too looks weakened by the spell, but recovering. He's awake. In the course of like half an hour it takes him to recover, he's able to walk over to Milivoy. The two share a hug, and you can see as Milivoy stares at him with a look of, I forgive you. A little glimmer of light in this dark land. It seems that your actions have made a difference this day by banishing the haunt of the orphanage.
Yeah.
Gods know how many more would have suffered if it weren't for your actions.
I will go over to the. I don't remember. Did we scratch out all of the runes?
Sarah did that in the meantime.
Yeah.
When she was heading
Okay.
back, essentially.
Okay.
Sure
If those have been destroyed, then
and with your
Yeah.
like passive like paladin senses, you don't no longer detect the reek of the vile thing that was haunting the place. The now mundane and inert medallion in position is the only thing that remains from it.
So in that case,
You
I'll
still
turn
have
to-
the medallion, right, Samson?
Yep, I will kind of mage hand float it with my invisible mage hand around my hand a little bit. Yes, I think we should potentially look at tracking down where this was from. It was
That's a vile
concerning
thing
if
that
such a thing reached
Milivoy just pointed at
the
it.
hands of a
Goes,
child.
that's a vile thing that. Looks expensive though, will
Yes.
fetch a pretty penny. But
It
wouldn't-
was quite vile. I'm thinking we should try and find its source after all.
I mean, there's
It's
only a
rather
handful of people
dangerous to-
in the city who would possess something like that. I mean, I don't know
I
if the
assume the
burgomaster
Burgmeister
practices
and-
vile magics, but there are rumors about his son. He's been inquiring about arcane tomes in local libraries and what have you, and he's people have been seeing blue flashes of light coming from the window of his upstairs room, which I can only guess what sort of magic he practices there. Might belong to him, an artifact. If not, then any of the other noble families in the city. I mean, no common folk would own that.
Yes, we'll investigate that. I'm very interested in knowing where this came from. Making sure that it doesn't fall into the wrong hands or something similar.
Right.
After all, it caused quite a lot of misery here. And I will put it back into my belt pouch. Well, you guys should stay here and try and recover some strength. We're gonna go talk to Henrik, the coffin maker, and try and see about those bones. Don't worry yourself too much over it.
Do we know where he lives?
Yeah, we were just told it's east side of town
Oh, okay.
by the...
Near the stockyards?
Yeah.
Alright, with that, if anybody else wants to do anything else before you leave the orphanage, you may head out in whichever direction you wish to go.
I think I wanna speak with Henrik's, honestly.
Sure.
What about
Yeah, that's where I want to go. I want to talk to him about, two things. Potentially three. I want to figure out about these bones. Although we may hold that conversation for a little bit. The other one I think we should probably start with is asking if we can look at Cedric's body and make sure that whatever was in that necklace didn't leave a taint.
Milivoy seems saddened to hear the passing of the little boy. He wasn't around for his passing, the incident a few days back. I figured as much. Nothing I could have done, I suppose.
Nothing you could have done without magic of some sort.
I stay away from the vile practice. All I need
Not
is a
all
good,
magic is
sturdy
vile.
shovel in my hands. That suffice. And against most things.
Shuffle is very effective against many things. Not all magic is vile, though. And I will go ahead and just cast light on some small object in the room and lightly toss it to him. Some magic can be quite enlightening.
He laughs at the pun, chuckling. Father Lucian would have liked you. I think you and him will get along just fine.
Yes.
He will hold on
I'm
to
gonna
that.
walk.
Hmm?
I'm just gonna walk out of the room, and I'm gonna leave 2 pieces of gold in the table. Or
He twin peaks, like, never seen this much gold in one pile before in his entire life. Thank you.
Yeah. I will go ahead and drop that as well. And I'll hand that over to Miss Belasco. Say, try and make sure you've got some decent meals for the children for a bit at least.
This will cover the doctor's fees for sure, and it will go a long way, heroes. Thank you
Yes.
for everything.
I'll try and stop by again at some point.
And I'll see to it that the children will find their own way of thanking you. Maybe we'll organize a little party. We haven't had a genuine party in quite some time, despite the festivities about. She smiles.
Yeah, Novark would hand her a couple as well.
Payday.
Just to help them out.
Yes.
Ever thankful. It looks like for once all will be well.
That's good.
Let's hope for it.
The children wave you goodbye as you make your way out of the orphanage eventually.
Yeah.
As they do so, you look due to where the sun will rise, were there ever a sunrise in Barovia. The streets of Vallaki are quite busy. Do you wish to head east?
Yes, I have two questions one question about that though. Can I ritual cast while walking, or is that a stationary action?
What ritual cast? What spell? Oh, can you ritual cast while walking? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I would like to try and time it so that I have detect magic go off when we're getting close to where the coffin maker would be.
It will take you quite some time to walk all the way there. Even looking forward, it is quite
a long walk.
3 miles, but yeah, as you start to get a sense of the fringes of the city, I'll go ahead and have to cast that. Yeah, movement doesn't interrupt ritual casting.
Yeah.
As you walk down Vallaki's main artery, you start casting that spell. You catch some stares of Barovians as they pass by you. Some look at you with curiosity. Some simply stare with blank expressions, poker-faced and hollow. Others don't bother to hide their scorn, fear, or shunning gazes. Especially as Novark makes his way down the street, you see a wary-looking woman place a pale hand on her child's shoulder as she pulls the daughter closer to her side, all the while making a protective gesture of faith, never lifting her fearful gaze from the half-orc's tusks. As you continue onwards, down the wide street, past shops and homes towering 3 stories high, you come upon the town square. Here, you see limp decorations, tattered garlands, and painted wooden boxes filled with these tiny dead flowers that grimly ornament the street. At the north end of the square stands a row of stocks, locked into which are several men, women, and children wearing crude, plastered donkey heads, masks of some sort of humiliation. In the center of the square, peasants in patchwork clothes eye you suspiciously as they use cups and vases to draw water from a crumbling stone fountain. Standing tall at the center of the fountain is a gray statue of an impressive man facing west, arm outstretched, regally. All around the square are posted proclamations, the same proclamations of the Blazing Sun festival that you saw before. Actually, I have a handout for the town square. Here you go.
Oh, in my mind looks prettier by a lot.
It's not that far off from what I was picturing.
Pretty is not the word you would describe Vallaki.
All the dead flowers and like.
There's a constant green aura to all of Barovia that doesn't seem to lift day and night.
I will kind of glance at the people with the plaster donkey heads. Does it look like they've been there for a long time, or?
They look malnourished. They look humiliated. They look like people have been tossing rotted vegetables at them, staining their clothes. Some of them have already gave up on struggling and kind of limply hang there, not moving, trying to conserve energy. Other ones are angrily struggling against their bindings.
I'll turn to Aya and Elvar. Think we should deal it all with this, or just keep moving to the coffin maker and come back and look at this after that? I don't want to cause a scene. We're already causing enough of a scene. I don't want to get too involved with whatever's going on here without more information. What do you guys think?
Yes, I think we have too many eyes on us, and it could get some problem with the Baron on town. So
Yes.
I'd rather go to Henrik's first.
I already have too much people looking at me.
In that case, let's keep moving.
Connell.
We'll figure out what's going on there in a bit.
Yeah, Connor will just basically be stuck by his side, just walking against his leg as he moves.
Connell isn't usually an aggressive or openly aggressive pet outside of combat, but nonetheless, you catch him growling low, as a particularly towering brute in the distance. You see sort of patrolling amid the stalks, particularly menacing individual, slowly pacing among the incarcerated. The towering brute of a man wears a decorated guard captain's uniform with a leather apron at the front akin to that of a butcher. Upon his back is a long, dark cloak lined with white wolf's fur that falls off his broad shoulders. His head is shaven clean, and several deep scars crack across his face like forked lightning. His muscled arms ripple as he clenches the grip around a colossal axe, which he holds with one hand. The other hand is monstrous, disfigured, the flesh red as if burnt. The appendage has barbed spines, elongated fingers, and a long set of nails, which he occasionally clicks against one another, forming little sparks. Most Barovians seem to steer clear of his path, as if he put the very fear of the devil in their very souls. The man turns his head slowly to look in your direction. His eyes are an unnatural bright orange that seems to glint like live embers. He studies you all with a look of akin to that of like a hungry snake ready to strike, and you can't help but get a slight sensation of a chill down your spines as he stares at you from a distance.
I will. Is he directly in our path, or is he off to the side of the path?
You guys decided not to approach the stalks, but he did note your presence, and he's just mad dogging you from a distance.
Yeah. I will meet his eyes and give a slight nod, and then keep moving. Kind of say, I see that you see us.
I don't have the macro yet for posted pictures in general chat. I'll fix that something during break. So I'll post it in the cost general. This is what he looks like as he gives you a smirk back.
Cool.
A very cruel smile. You guys proceed onwards?
I
Yes.
believe so.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Another about a mile east, you come back to the main artery. About this far, all the while more proclamations seem to flutter in the wind below your feet, some of them torn apart. A light drizzle of rain begins to fall as you finally reach the eastern outskirts of Vallaki. I believe I have a picture for this section of the city as well. I do. There is a large stockyard here, which has several locked sheds along its periphery, and lies adjacent to a roomy warehouse. A wooden sign above the front gate reads, Arasjok Stockyards. Parked at the south end of the stockyards is a sturdy carnival wagon. and even from here you can see its colorful paint peeling off, and faded lettering on its sides spell out in large letters, Rictavio's Carnival of Wonders.
Hmm.
You can see that the back of the wagon is locked with a heavy padlock that's secured to both doors.
I wonder how long it's been since that festival has happened.
I will say that from just passive memory, you remember Rictavio introducing himself while telling tall tales, entertaining guests in the inn the first time you ever walked in. The half-elf entertainer seemed bard-like and boasted all manner of travel stories that seemed very, very unlikely to have ever happened, but entertaining nonetheless. And just from passive memory, you remember him like talking about like he's a traveling like carnival master essentially that's stopping by to see sights. But you don't remember much because I don't think any of us spoke to him.
I believe, because he was the storyteller, I believe I had done the detect magic from above the in the inn.
Yeah.
If he had some type of magic on him. He's got.
Yeah, illusion magic.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was illusionary and something else.
Right. Yeah, you detected an hour of illusion, and an hour of abjuration upon him.
Yeah.
But the spell, alas, being of first level and kind of weak, is too vague.
Yeah, it says, hey, there's something of interest here. You could go do more about it. But, well, what do you say we go into the stockyard and find the coffin sign, go talk to Henrik? Ooh, that's not bad. So at this point, I think I have my detect magic up as we're walking in.
You detect a very intense aura coming from the wagon. It is a mix of all sorts of magic, abjuration, conjuration, and a general divine aura that's, again, too vague. The spell not very specific, but absolutely a hot spot of magic at the front of the wagon. You're standing too far from anything else to catch your attention, aside from your fellow companions. If any of you have magic items on you, I don't believe you do, but yeah.
Well, it's not what I've done before to find the bones, but hopefully if I get close to them, they'll show up. At least to some extent.
From where you stand, all of you, about half a mile east lies an uninviting coffin maker's shop, undoubtedly. All of its windows all the shutters are closed up tight, and a thick fog presses up against the building's walls as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch its occupants unawares. The dirt road becomes mud beneath your feet. Here and there, planted into the ground and flanking the road, are a half dozen pikes with wolves' heads impaled on them. Some of them have been here for more than a week and have begun to rot. The smell is quite unpleasant.
Well, suppose now's as good a time as any. Let's head in, unless there's other things we should be doing before this. Do we want to scout around outside, or just head in and talk?
I think we should head in and talk. Or do you see any building that caught your attention?
There is
just the coffin maker's shop.
The coffin maker's shop. There is the stockyard itself, which is a warehouse. We can see two commoners at the front of the makeshift store, and there seem to be loading common adventuring gear in and out of the store and trying to like load up for the day essentially. And then there's the very colorful carnival wagon from which you can Samson can detect the magic come from.
Yeah. Well,
but there's no one in the vicinity of the coffin makers.
No, the place near the building looks absolutely desolate, save for the fog that permeates it.
Well, I suppose we should probably walk up towards the coffin maker's shop. I'll try to be a little bit behind going with my detection to try and see stuff.
Sure. This uninviting shop is 2 stories tall and has a sign shaped like a coffin above the front door. All of the windows, as I mentioned before, are shuttered closed, and a deathly silence surrounds the establishment. I will go ahead and load us into a map that will put us a little bit closer. And this is where we'll have to actually test our vision. Because Samson, Fate, Novark, Connell. Yeah, you guys don't have. Connell has vision. I believe because Connell has vision, you can technically see what he sees, but you know, whatever. I will load you into the map, and one by one give you vision, and set your tokens that way. Starting with you, Novark. Vision on. Do you have night vision? 60 feet? Yeah.
Yeah, I can see all the way to the other side.
That's Connell's vision right now. So I am giving you vision now, 30, and now your token should have vision as well, which you're standing right beside him. So yeah, let me set your health as well, because you want a health bar, right?
Yeah, if I'm no fussed out. Oh, good.
Okay, so that's done. Next we have. Let's do Samson. Samson, what's your dark vision situation like?
300 feet?
300 feet to pass through all the time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just permanent 300 feet dark vision. Twilight Cleric.
Those Twilight are so good.
Mm-hmm.
I can see beyond space.
It's so ludicrous.
You have the option of having your vision be absolutely clear or like tinted with a color like twilight blue if you want for immersion, but it's your call. Don't have to if you don't want to.
Let's try the tint.
I'm curious what it actually looks like.
There is no tint.
There's no tint because the map has global illumination, I believe. And I don't want that. So dynamic lighting, daylight mode off, because there's no daylight. So now,
there you go.
So you have a slight bluish tint to the edges of it. Oh,
yeah, it looks like shadow.
Let me make it a little brighter because it should be that's foggy up. Because no tint looks like this.
Yeah.
But, right, and that I don't want to obscure your vision. I just, you know what? We'll experiment after a session. How about that? Like,
yeah.
Save it. All right. Cool. Then you want a health bar. Let me just add that on top. HP. AC. Save, and make that your token. Save. And last but not least, we have Aya. What's your 60 feet dark vision?
Yeah, 60 feet.
Okay. 60. Dimming at 30. Dimming doesn't change anything, it just makes it more immersive. And then you want your health bar. And your armor class. Edit, make token, save, and I think all of you should have vision now.
Yep.
Yes.
What do you want to do as you begin to maneuver over to the building with the deathly silence surrounding the establishment?
So,
yeah, about
is that
30 feet north is one door, and
which door has the coffin sign over it, or
this one seems to be the front door with the coffin sign, and there's a back door where you can see a single raven kind of pecking at the wooden door.
well, we're not here for anything nefarious. I suppose the front door is probably the right option.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm not planning to rob this place.
Yes, we're just going to talk.
Wait, is the Raven like trying to get in?
It looks like it's pecking at wood rather aggressively. Very odd behavior for a raven. He's picking, taking chunks out, and spitting them aside, and pecking some more, taking chunks out, spitting them aside.
So, like, try and get inside.
Looks like it.
Yeah, no words. Just kind of watching the raven.
Do you see something, Novark? I don't see anything particularly odd here.
No, the raven.
Raven? Yeah, it's the raven.
The raven
It's
turns
a
its
bird.
head towards you, and you can see a blue streak upon its feathers on one side of his head, and eyes you for a moment, turns its head, and goes, "Ka!" and then returns back to pecking.
Looks
know
like
how
a
to
raven
bird.
to me.
Yeah, I
But-
don't know much. It's a bird. Is it behaving
No,
oddly?
well,
Is it odd?
the reason why they say ravens are omens of death.
Oh, I really hope that's not the case. I'm
We
kind of
have
a
seen
bit...
plenty of
scavenger
raven.
They're scavenger creatures.
Well,
If they'll
I
see a corpse,
suppose,
they'll pick at it.
I suppose this is the coffin maker's place. I imagine there would be corpses. Well,
Alright, well, we
do you
delay.
want to do anything with the raven, or should we just?
I'll just
enter
leave
and
it. It doesn't look like it's coming
it's
after
not
us.
causing us a problem? Yeah.
As you ritual cast your spell, creating your invisible, mindless, shapeless servant, you see, is it like a human? If it had a
Yeah.
corporeal form, is it like a human servant or something more unique to?
I would say like it's a shadow copy of myself, of Ia.
You see two hoof marks upon the mud, just form where it stands.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Out of curiosity, do I see that with detect magic up? It's kind of like a
you would detect
blurry
like
thing.
a conjuration area force streaming from Aya's hands, and then briefly manifesting into like this shapeless form.
Thing, and then
And
then I lose it because it's no longer an active
it's
spell. Or...
it's invisible, but you will be able to detect it with a spell. You will be able to sense its general location. It's not like a visual thing, but you know it's kind of like in your inner
Yes,
mind.
okay, yeah. Yeah, it's there.
While
There-
you're holding the
there.
spell, you know exactly where the servant is. Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the servant is walking behind us.
And this is a window here.
It is. You can see it is made from like each of these windows in this shop is a lattice work of iron fitted with squares of frosted glass. And if you would like try to like gently latch it up, you would see that it's locked from the inside, and there's like shutters on the inside that blocks it.
The shutters are inside.
Shutters are
Okay.
inside, yeah. Shutters
Okay.
are. Because English, sorry. Are shutters the wooden boards that are outside and swing out, or are they like something
Yes.
like blinds? So they're outside. Then.
The
That's
shutters are the, or at least storm shutters are the wooden things on the outside that are.
all. So the shutters are latched closed. Yes.
Okay, and they've not got like any gaps between them because I know like some of them do.
There
to,
is
like,
gaps.
show-
That's where you can see the frosted glass. That's.
Alright, so
behind
can't
it.
see anything for it.
You can see. Like you can roll me like a perception check with disadvantage because you're looking through frosted glass and it makes shapes all blurry like. You can definitely see inside. It is quite dark, but you can see where the light
Yeah, I'll roll
from
them.
outside falls onto shapes. With a
Yeah.
16 perception, you make out the very edge of a wooden chair and a table. Let me just look up what room that is. As well as the glimmer of some light source, perhaps the lantern hanging off a chain really close to the window above the table. The table is about 5 feet away from the wall, which is why you can make it out from a distance. But unfortunately, you can't make out the rest of the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. Just kind of nods. Can't see anything. For
No
it,
movement.
Just a table.
No movement inside that room.
Okay.
I'm gonna open the door. It's a shop. So
The door rattles, locked in place, and as you do so, you hear a man's voice whisper from within. Morgantha, have you returned?
No, we are travelers looking for Henrik's.
We're closed. Go away. The door remains closed.
Henrik's, is that you? I'm knocking. Well, I'm asking.
Go away. Leave me alone.
Okay. I think we are gonna have to find a new way to talk with him. Do you guys want to check the back door?
I mean, yeah. No, I'll start heading around there.
Or you want to try to
So-
convince him to open the door?
When the doors, so the door is locked properly and that it has like no give, or is there a little bit of give?
There's a little bit of give as if it's barred from the inside. Yeah, it's not locked into the edge of the frame, but more like by a wooden beam on the other side or something like that.
If I spend like 30 seconds of this, is there any type of crack in the door at all that I could see into what's barring it?
You see
Or-
where the bar kind of stops light from coming from the. There's a light inside the shop, and where the bar kind of goes across the wall on the other side, you can see its shape. It is about half a foot thick and many feet long to go across from one end of the door to the other. Aside from that, there's a crack on the bottom of the door about half an inch. If you take a look inside, you can see a man pacing to and through.
Yeah. So go. Well, I only recently learned how to do this. I don't know if this is going to work. I would like to try and mage hand to just inch the bar to the side or the other side of it. I don't have a clue if it's going to work or not. Mage hand doesn't list anything about
Squeezing.
sight directly.
I'm pretty sure it has. You cast it at a spot within sight, therefore you need to see what you're interacting with. And I don't know the rules for squeezing for hand, but it's tiny object.
At
So
a point at a point you choose within range.
Yeah. Okay. Within range.
Yeah,
Cool.
and it's invisible.
Doesn't require sight. Telekinesis. Weird, but okay.
Problem is, it can only move about 10 pounds, and I don't know how heavy this bar is.
10 pounds is
10 pounds is a
That
lot,
is a
but
lot, yeah.
but a chunk of a big chunk of wood is not light.
I mean, if it's 4 is less than 10 pounds, I can tell you that.
I think that
you begin
if
to concentrate on your telekinesis, and you begin to see the bar begin to lift. The spell taking effect, and then quick footsteps. Like, what kind of sorcery is this? And then you see the bar slam down as the man puts his hand, you imagine his hand or some weight on the bar to kind of contest 10 pounds, which for him is...
Oh yeah, no, that as soon as he pushes on it, it immediately falters and fails.
Said go away, we're closed. I'll call the guards.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna whisper to you. Should we mention the bones?
Not yet. Let's try the other door for a second. Or do we want to talk about trying to check in on Cedric's body?
And I'll go check. You keep him talking here.
So, I just noticed something interesting. If you look at... I actually have a picture reference of the place now, right? I have Shatter's there, right there. If you look at the door, it has like a set of like iron bars, like a window there. I'm gonna say that exists. So through there, you can see the man's face now, kind of angrily staring at you, putting his hand there and looking at you like, "I got no business with you. Leave."
I'm here because I'm curious about what you have an orphan or a boy from the orphanage here. Died recently.
Well, why would I have a boy from the orphanage here?
Or has he already been buried?
What are you talking
I was
about?
told he would be here most likely. We recently found out what killed him, and I'm concerned about what it may have done to him. I'd like to try and check his body to make sure that there's nothing dangerous on it. It won't cause any problems. He was killed by fairly dark magic.
Roll persuasion.
Okay. That'd be an 18 using the first number.
See his expressions soften. All right, but make it quick. I'm not supposed to have people over. He begins. You hear the beam lift, and the door creaks open. Give me a moment as I go to dynamic lighting and make that happen.
Well, now that we can see his face, does he look scared or?
He looks Barovian, and the default expression of Barovians is fear. He looks though. Go ahead and roll me insight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Insight.
I'll tell you the obvious, but see how much you can also detect if you're already inspecting his face.
Yeah.
He has a certain, I don't want to call it paranoia, but he has a certain look to his eyes, a very troubled look, like that of a man who has seen some shit. You've only ever seen that look if you've ever rescued commoners from a recent battleground or an ambush or something like that. He looks troubled, on edge, constantly, shifting about, gritting his teeth.
Okay.
I keep the coffins here in the back, and he walks toward this door yonder, and also it's not locked. He just kind of pushes it with a creak.
Yep. I will follow, and I'm kind of just I'm scanning the room to make sure for detect magic.
Sure.
Hoping that he has the bones somewhere exposed. I don't remember. Let me double check what I can get. What blocks that? Because I know that there's some level of material that blocks that.
Yeah. So just within sight and within and
It
penetrates some wood and stuff. Yeah, I'm aware.
yeah, I get 1 foot of stone or an inch of metal or wood or some stuff. So
lead. Yeah.
Minor
does not
check.
penetrate lead. Something like that. Yeah. As you walk through the room, kind of hovering your spell focus or your hand, detecting magic about, he inspects your weapon and he's like, "You're not with the god, are you? You're not Isaac's men, women."
No,
too?
I hold the shield a little bit more up because the shield is my focus currently.
Right.
I'm using the emblem on the shield. Yes. Yes. No, I'm an installed priest of Saloon. I'm new in this land and have seen some of its darkness.
Right. As you scan around with your shield, you see this workshop contains everything a carpenter might need to make coffins and furniture. There's 3 sturdy workbenches here that stretch the length of the west wall. Upon them are various essentially carpenter's tools. He looks around warily before letting you through to the next room over yonder, stepping aside to let you all through. Kind of as you pass by him, your boots clinking on the floor and creaking. He seems to give off a twitch, a nervous tick perhaps, or flinching at your armor. He seems to be really, really on edge constantly. This is my handiwork, as ghastly as it is. Most of these are empty. The boy is, and he taps nearby coffin. I mean, I've already sealed it, but Suppose there's no harm in, let me just fetch my tools real quick. And unless somebody stops him, he does so.
Yeah, Novark steps out with him.
Right.
Since he's just right behind him.
Sure. You accompany him to the previous room. He grabs, like, you searches. Seems to be very, very familiar with his tools. As on edge as he is with the rest of the world, seems to be very in tune with his craft. Quickly grabs a crowbar and puts it against the coffin. Strains and lifts the nails off, revealing the corpse of the boy. It is still dressed in the orphan's clothes, just being laid with his arms crossed across his chest. He's pale, the skin sunken a little bit around the eye sockets, and you can see what killed him. Several deep laceration marks across his chest, across his legs, some bruises here and there. It's very similar to the bruises as you've seen them when we first entered the orphanage. Signs where the shadow has sapped their life out. The final blow you would guess would be the large laceration across his chest, like a raking motion.
And this detect magic's not getting anything lingering on his corpse, right?
Traces of necromancy, but only because of how vile this thing was. Nothing. It's very inert. It's not like actively in him.
Okay.
Curiously enough, because you're detecting Arcana about, as he lifted the coffin, opened it up, whatever fog is creeping inside this place and kind of condensing upon your swords and your armor has begun to like claw its way into the coffin. The fog is unnatural.
Not good.
Yeah.
Okay, that fog is attracted to his body. Coffin maker, you might want to step back. It might be dangerous. Let's quickly seal this back up.
Say no more.
Unless, actually... How quickly is the fog going into the coffin?
It's very steady. It's not like super fast, but it's like you've noticed it over the past few seconds where it just creeps and claws its way inside and begins to veil over.
Try something. This may... I can try and hold the body in a state of peace. That's going to take time, so I'm fairly tapped. I would like to... Let's just seal the coffin. I don't have time. I'm concerned about the fog.
Henrik mumbles as he's sealing the coffin. He mumbles something along the lines of like, usually the priest comes around and does those duties, but he's been preoccupied. What with them? Yes. And then he stops very abruptly. It's just the church.
When we see the fog getting into the casket, I wanna try to recall about the creature we killed.
The shadow demon?
Yeah, the shadow demon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I wanna know stuff about it, like if it cursed the victims or something like that.
Sure.
I mean, after they die.
So, yeah, I would say he doesn't have much magic affecting him still. There's lingering traces, but nothing that's going to cause any direct effects.
It's almost like
it's not gonna.
If you were just hit by a firebolt and you still have the mark, that's sort of like inert trace.
Yeah, there's remnants, but it's not going to turn him. That was what I was concerned of.
Okay, yeah, that was my worry.
I will rest much easier having seen this thing. Thank you, Henrik.
Lucky are those who rest eternal within my boxes.
You look a little uneasy, Henrik. Is everything alright?
Yeah, it's a mess. It's you. You're freaking me out. What are you even? You look at your horns, look at your whipping tail about. Some sort of devil.
Not a devil. But people treat me like that sometimes. But I'm a friend that is trying to help.
Oh, there's no helping the boy.
Yes.
Yeah, but
unfortunately
maybe
not.
we can help you. You look pretty at ease. Unnecessary.
I'm keeping an eye on the fog and trying to help seal the coffin back up.
Sure. He takes the time to hammer the nails back in, and very reluctantly, the coffin seems to claw away, kind of tracing along the wood, and remains in the room, all the while condensing in your swords, or like sending chills down your spines as the room begins to grow colder. Just an inert darkness of this land taking form, but it doesn't seem to be seeping into the coffin anymore.
Okay. I wanna. Well, no. Yeah, I'm gonna cast it. Divine Sense.
Okay.
I wanna see if there is anything hollow around here, or well, maybe there's an undead.
The ground is not hallowed in any sense of the word, and
No,
in
no,
terms
sorry.
of fiends, celestials, or undead, there are none in sight.
Okay,
But
nothing
the
inside.
stench of this place, the reek of undeath, is strong.
Henrik, have you been hearing weird stuff from your place lately?
Weird stuff. Roll insight.
Inside.
What do you mean weird stuff? I'm the only living person here. I spend my days and night working my ghastly handiwork. Yeah, no, he's lying through his teeth, trying to hide something. You're not sure what, but he keeps very nervously glancing up at the ceiling and to the door behind Novark as he's speaking, even more fidgety than usual.
Yeah, Novak's just standing in the doorway, just looking at him.
Right.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything, he says, lying.
With my eyes, I just wanna. I don't know if Norbak is seeing at me, but I want to signal him to that door to be aware of it. With my eyes, I don't know if I can do that much.
Like a nod or something. Henrik is too preoccupied with trying to cover up whatever it is he's trying to cover up to notice your nod as he continues to stammer on. And he begins to cackle in a very panicking way before catching himself and returning back to his normal nervous self. This man is just off in all sorts of ways. His mind addled and troubled.
So I'm just gonna kind of move up this way to kind of let detect magic hit the rest of this room.
Sure. Where are you at? I don't see your token for some. Oh yeah. There's all the coffins are aside from what you just expected are empty. This room is mostly to present the coffins. No sort of magic in this room.
Okay.
The coffins themselves are like of mediocre quality. But yeah, I think Cedric is kind of the centerpiece of this room. All the while, you can hear the raven on the outside of the door still pecking at it. Like over yonder.
Out of curiosity.
Okay, is Henrik still hammering the coffin, or is he done with it?
He's done at this point. He's pretty quick at his work, yeah. They're very shabby coffins, too. They're not meant to be fancy or anything. It's a wooden box at best. Mediocre quality. A few nails can keep it shut.
One copper piece. I get it.
If even. Coffin makers don't make much at all.
Okay, I'm gonna put my unseen servant around here.
Okay.
And I want him to start rattling stuff and knocking on the coffins.
God, by daylight. He looks toward the ceiling, not toward where the rattles came from, and then shifts his look over to where the rattle, and looks around the corner. Damn rats.
I am going to look directly where he looked on the ceiling.
It's made of wood. How can divine sense penetrate? It's just within sight. I know that. Detect magic can
Detect
penetrate
magic can
wood.
get through 3 feet of wood or dirt.
3 feet. You detect immense divine presence from upstairs, from close to where Novik's standing, a little bit more to the west. But your divine magic just focuses on that spot, and it's past that point.
I will turn to look at Aya and Navar and kind of go, you just kind of point up. Henrik, are you being watched from something? By something?
He, at this point, after being questioned by Aya and you can see the cracks as he slowly breaks down. Watched. What do you mean? What do you know? What? I mean.
I know there's something upstairs. Yeah. Something very powerful. Is it something watching you?
Immediately.
Or is it something else?
His lower lip begins to quiver in terror. You have to help me.
What's going on?
Please, I am but a carpenter trying to make the best of a miserable life.
Yes.
Morning, Lord, have mercy.
You're quite good at it.
I did what I had to. Let me explain. We, cursed souls of Barovia, have so few respites in the land. She came months ago, an elderly woman knocking at my door. She offered to sell me an escape from the nightmare of life, the most wonderful of enchanted pastries that provided one the sweetest of dreams. But the price she asked for was heavy, and my ghastly handiwork pays little. I'm a coffin maker. I profit from the deaths of others. It is how the world works. Lucky are those who remain in my coffins. She took a liking to my handiwork and offered me a deal. A few bones of some man long dead in exchange for a peaceful slumber. I was so naive. I doubted the use in clinging to false relics, hoping for the sanctuary of gods that no longer answer. I accepted her bargain. Too late did I realize the true price I paid. I let the evil enter my home, and now it haunts it, nests here like a fester. I don't mean to fight you, nor do I wish to. If you wish to take those bones, you will find those damn bones upstairs. It is a burden I no longer wish to bear. But I beg you, help me. No good came from my bargain. Now the dead keep vigil over my house. Ascend at your own peril.
Well,
like we said, we are friends. But before we help you further, who is this Morgantha you were waiting for?
The woman, her beauty. How beautiful she was. How charming. She's the pastry maker. A woman most talented. It is her who made a bargain with me. She comes by every week with her cart of pastries. I do tasks for her. In return, she gives me the escape that I so crave. The bones are just the most recent acquisition.
Yeah. Well, how long? When's she supposed to arrive? Is it today?
He takes a moment to remember what day it is. No, she was supposed to show by morrow's end. The next day.
Next day. Okay.
She shows at night. Midnight. Her cart.
Okay. This is
This is
problematic.
becoming too much for Henrik as he begins to shut down emotionally. He is succumbing to the innate despair of this place and his inner turmoil, and he begins to look very weary as he kind of slams his back against the wall and slumps slowly down and clutches his head in his hands and begins sobbing. What have I done?
Okay, I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder, and everyone makes mistakes, and we will help you with this one.
Even as he's crying and you're trying to comfort him, you see his hand reflexively reach into his pocket and get out a small piece of pastry. He doesn't even seem to be aware of his own motions as he begins stuffing his face with it.
And I try and slap that out of his hand before he gets to eat it.
He will not. He will not attempt to do that. So it's an automatic success. You do so, slapping it. It lands on, crumbling on the floor, and he just goes and he's crying again. Now it's almost like muscle memory at this point. This addiction of his, whatever enchantment is on his pastries, it is a vile thing that he doesn't even notice what he's doing anymore. Yeah.
I'd like to kind of try and stop it. Those do not provide what you think they do. I want to try and stop him from eating pastry. Those do not provide what you think they do, nor their content what you think they are. It gives you a false state of happiness.
It's the only thing I have. You don't understand.
Samson, I think you should let him. He needs a break of this sad place. And it's not gonna do any worse than it has already done.
I suppose.
So if we remove the bones, would it stop all the shit that's happening around here?
No, but it will help.
She won't be pleased to find out that I failed. If she comes back and the bones are not here, I am as good as dead.
Well then.
He explains that the vigils upstairs essentially are here to make sure that the bones remain until the arrival of Morgantha.
Well then,
I think we should
do something about Morgantha. Or you simply have to not be here when Morgantha arrives.
Where would you have me go?
That's a thing to think about. I don't have a good plan.
Seek sanctuary at the church. At least until this all blows over.
The church offers sanctuary to many. And with the bones' power and actions, it is a holy place. Or at least it was. What's upstairs? It's more than just the bones.
If Novark so much as pushes the door, it's not locked. It will push open. Beyond the door you're leaning against. I'm just doing it right now.
I'm asking Novark this. I'm not going up. Or no, not Novark. I'm asking.
Henrik.
Henrik.
Yeah.
What's upstairs? Anything beyond the bones?
Planks mostly. It's my storage, my room, the kitchen. You will find the bones in my residence upstairs in my dorm, the bedroom. Is what I'm trying to say. But they're there, watching, day and night. Dormant at day, but God, the noise they make at night. Starved fiends.
Do they speak to you, Henriks?
Sometimes I wake in the middle of the night, in the darkness, so dark it hums, and they're just standing there, staring at me from above, from the ceiling, or crawling in the corners of the room. They speak of their masters, of Morgantha, of the devil Strahd. He says the name like it's a curse. They taunt me. Tell me how good I've been, how well of a job I've done, and how lucky I am to serve those devils. They're intelligent. Please speak.
Well, I
Okay.
suppose we should go upstairs and see for ourselves.
Indeed.
Nothing else, we can try and resolve whatever it is up there and potentially give him at least a night of rest.
Is
Without these
everyone
things-
feeling
Okay.
healthy?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm a little bit tapped, but I'm still able to fight and, if need be, protect us.
Over just kind of clicks at the door, then Connell just comes back and comes inside.
Paddling in. Henrik just... He's still on the floor, right? With his head in his hands, and he looks over to this giant hulking wolf of himself, and he goes back, panic for a moment. Mercies.
Fine, he won't hurt you, unless I tell him to.
Please don't.
He's friendly.
So
Well,
Sure.
I suppose I can... Let's head on up.
Oh, you can go through walls. That's cool. I'll disable that later.
yeah, sorry.
It's okay. It's not your fault. I just didn't do that for the map. I'll actually do that right now because it might be spoilers.
Yeah.
Movement. I don't know why that's not a default setting. It's literally one button. It should be toggled on and off.
It doesn't make sense. It should be defaulted. You can't go through walls.
Okay.
It's for those people that can teleport and shit.
Oh, yeah. Good point. You have teleporting abilities.
All right. So taking the lead, Aya, Samson behind in marching order. Then we have our orc. I'll go ahead and put you guys one ahead, and then we have Connell behind. There's Connell. You ascend the stairs, and there's a set of doors to either side of you. One to the left, one to the right. If you're still holding on to that spell, 10 minutes, right? You're still holding on to it.
10 minutes.
The aura comes from the left side of the map, essentially.
I will indicate. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and open both doors just for the sake of
The
this.
magic is coming towards the left. I'm assuming
Okay.
I'm assuming I'm detecting the bones with the level of divinity that has.
To the right, as you kind of pass up and away from it, you can detect the source of the undeath. The aura.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so this one.
I can
Everyone
describe,
can sense it?
I can describe
Or
one round
only
at a time,
I?
depending which way you go.
So that's going towards the left, towards the bones. If we're heading up the stairs the way that Aya has just gone.
Yeah, that's where you're detecting that aura. Yeah, through the like as you pass up, you approach a stone wall and you lose it for a moment. But if you go in that direction, you will detect it through the wood.
Yeah. So
Okay. Samson, I sense something in here.
I'm assuming if you're sensing something, it's not a good thing.
Yeah. Be on the ready.
Okay. Will do. So I will follow in.
Okay, following into that room then, you come upon a large, drafty room. It is strung with cobwebs and takes up most of the upper floor. You see stacks of wooden planks that lie amid several crates. All the crates are marked with a single word: junk.
Okay. I imagine that there is nothing. It's only wood around and crates, right?
Wooden crates. The more you make your way into the room, the chiller it becomes, the colder, and this permeating fog just forms a sheet across the floor and drifts to and through. Connell seems to be on edge, just for kind of standing up,
Say.
sniffing about,
Yeah.
growling.
I
And you can see the raven
close.
now flew up to one of the windows nearby, like this one over yonder, and he's pecking at the glass, flapping its wings about. You can hear its muffled cough from outside.
Okay.
With the last traces of your detect magic, it's about like a minute before it goes out, essentially.
Yeah.
As it begins to fizzle out, you step over to the spot you're exactly at right now, and for the briefest of glimpse, you saw fire. You saw the hearth of a giant torch, candle, you're not sure. Multicolored gems, a dark room, and then you lose it. And where you're standing is an endpoint nod to a teleportation point.
Oh.
It is a one-way nod, and where you're standing is a arrival point.
Okay. I thought I was like, yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to hell.
That's Samson's with detect magic. Yeah.
Yeah. This is not good. This is a landing point. You can get here. Be careful of this spot. Something could show up here at any moment. Let's clear the rest of the room and take care of this spot here.
Can
sure
you
we're not-
break it, Samson?
Perhaps. I don't see any type of like runes on the ground or inscriptions. It was
No.
just a magical sense, or is there something physical there?
There's no
indicating it as
physical
well?
scratches, but you would just know from how the spell sort of works that the runes are in the weave itself. They're not
Okay.
in the material,
Yeah.
because they penetrate the material realm. They're across the not the astral, the
Yeah.
ethereal. They're across everything, and they're on the same spot in all those planes. So they're in the weave.
Nothing I can do to stop it. At least not yet.
Would need like dispel magic or something like that, right?
Yeah, which I don't have yet.
Well,
So-
I think we
Where
don't see anything. We may have to call it, whatever it is.
Yeah, the thing you detected, is it? But where in here was it? Do you know, or do you not have?
Let me
Right.
try once more. Yeah, divine sense.
You don't
Divine
don't learn too
sense
much, but
only operates within your sight, right? The stench
Yeah,
of
oh
undead
my god.
permeates from all over this room, and especially from the northern and far western side of the room. It seems to be concentrated around these crates that you're standing in.
Okay. Yeah, I don't perceive anything. Maybe the crates. Okay. Are they hammered down? Like, are they nailed down? Or I
No,
can open it?
they're sealed. They're just heavy lids, but they don't seem to be nailed down. You can easily strain yourself and like lift them up if you so wish.
Okay.
So, like there. Say.
Sure.
I'm
Sounds
gonna
like
make
sure.
my servant open it. Okay.
Okay. Servant has what? 10 pounds. He can. I have it right here. Actually. I have it on the sign.
Two
15
points
feet.
of strength.
Strength.
I don't know
2.
how.
I'm a ruler just because it's funny. 1d20 and then -4 mod. I just want to see. Natural 20. So
My servant is as strong as me.
AI number 2 just flings the lid open and it just smashes against the ceiling and then onto the floor, sending what looks to be some brown substance onto the floor. But you then realize that the powdered stuff is soil. Indeed, removing the heavy wooden lid from the top of the crate, you are surprised to find it is filled to the brim with packed earth. There are several worms that dig in the soil.
Would there be?
Does it smell like decay? Or something?
You know what death smells like, and it smells like death.
Okay. I'm gonna lift all of them, I guess. Really? With the unseen servant again? Or he opened up all of them already, sorry.
One by one, you lift them up, and you see all of them packed with earth, worms crawling through. Like, which boxes do you open? Like all within sight, essentially.
Yeah, all of within sight.
All right. Some of the boxes are not packed with earth. The ones behind you, specifically, are indeed packed with junk. There are various trinkets which you can dig through if you so wish, but they don't seem to permeate the same aura from them.
I'll go ahead and use my
one more very
independent-
important detail. I'm just gonna say, as you open up the last box, your hand gently caresses something ice cold. You look down, and there's another hand, as pale as chalk, with long flesh, smooth as marble, and each finger ending with like blackened nails. This box will be under.
Okay.
A hand protruding from the soil. The rest of it digging into the box.
I'm gonna regret this. I'm gonna grab the hand and pull it out. Or try to pull it out.
And as you go to do that, since my detect magic is
Everybody gets
up,
one action.
I'm going to tap you with guidance. And
Perfect.
because I see you going to try and do something potentially intensive, so you have guidance for that.
You do something, Nova?
Oh, one moment.
I haven't got nothing I can really cast here. Novar's just got his board prepared because he's expecting that thing to fucking just grab onto his
Yeah.
Sometimes your innate sense proves right. As you go to grab the hand, it grabs you in return. Its clutch digging into your flesh, its rotten nails, pulling you into the dirt. Everybody gets like that one action, and then I'll have you all rule me initiative, please.
Yeah. So mine was just the casting guidance on expecting her to try and do something strength intensive to say, hey, here, have the blessing of sailing to try and help you get that to work.
As soon as you finish that, you just hear
glancing back at the teleport area just to make sure that nothing's about to drop in on us there.
You turn your gaze toward teleport, and you hear it, a muffled scream from within the soil, within the box, as a second hand shoots up, and it grabs Aya's hand and begins pulling her inside. This muffled scream heard coming from another crate nearby as well, then another. From the crate beside you, something is trying to dig itself out. You see a clawed hand punch through one of the crate's wooden walls, raking at it and just shredding it to pieces. Soil spills onto the floor, and you see a creature digs itself out from this makeshift grave. A scaled face with a draconic snout reveals itself. You see two red eyes aglow with this feral rage. It opens its maw with a growl, revealing a set of elongated sharp teeth. More creatures break forth from the confines of their containers, wailing cries of anguish and sending dirt spraying in all directions. They seem to be awaking each other in turn. Men, women, their skin pale and translucent, rise and bare their fangs at you. One leaps onto the ceiling and crouches low on all fours, upside down. Looking at you, she turns her head. It snaps. You hear the bones creaking below flesh and a very uncomfortable sound. She hisses to the others. They've seen us! Leave no witnesses. Right. I need to go to the GM layer to spawn them, right? Yeah. Unos. Dos.
I think you need to put them above the crates.
Yeah. I'll delete the... yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The one that spoke is right beside you. It's the one that's grabbing you. After leaving a few scratches, she saw how close you are, and she leaped onto the ceiling, and she's staring from the ceiling. Japanese ghost like. I don't know what do you call those fucking the ring, you know. Anyways.
Juon is Sadako and Kayako.
Sadako Kayako. I'll go ahead and open initiative. Did we roll initiative yet?
We have not rolled. initiative.
No, we haven't.
Okay, let's just double check if this is going to roll properly.
Yeah.
Fuck, I need my macros. I'll be right there. I'm gonna grab my macros from the other game because I have an initiative macro and I have.
Come on! It didn't roll with advantage because of my vigilance blessing.
Take whatever's appropriate.
Yeah.
It's getting hot.
Fuck, always a horrible. Wait. Kayako's a grudge. Sadako's a ring. That's it.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
I don't want a deck. I want not a rollable table. I want a macro. Add macro. There it is. That's gonna be a roll initiative. Save. I don't want that on my quick bar.
Oh, Samsung.
And I want.
I vigilance blessing. At least it's better than it was.
Yeah.
All right.
You need to stop doing detect magic so much. You're exhausted.
Yeah, it also makes a lot of sense given that my immediate reaction to this was, oh hey, there was a teleportation point that I just walked over. What's over there? I look that way, and now I'm slowly looking back.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any ties? Also, make your add your dexterity modifier to your words to your initiative. Roll. Yeah.
Yep. There's the little checkbox in the last page.
Aya, roll me dexterity, just pure dexterity. You're contesting with a very undead that would grab you.
Dexterity. Okay.
Okay. So you are on top in initiative order, and I'll go ahead and set hers to 14 instead. No other. Okay, so that's initiative order. Only the spawn thing gets a surprise. No, actually, you saw it coming. It doesn't get a surprise around. Top of the order, we have this creature over yonder. This tiny draconic thing, about 3 feet in height, crawls out and rises onto its hind legs, sniffing about. You can see a loincloth covers its like crouch area, but its skin is bare and pale in spots, and it seems to be translucent in the belly. You can see its guts through the skin. It sniffs about, bearing sharp fangs, and charges at a target. I'm just opening up its sheet. There we go. What's your movements? Okay. It begins to climb atop the planks behind it and onto the wall, making its way 10 feet up, and begins climbing upside down on the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Makes it about this far up the ceiling. This ghastly thing in the corner over yonder looks at you, Samson, and whips out a wicked long tongue that ends with a black stain at the end of it. It's gonna go ahead and charge.
Trying to read a thing.
Read a thing?
I was trying to read an effect, and I did the trigger spell instead of expand spell.
All right. This ghost of a thing charges at you. You can sense its stench from where it stands, and it gets even more intense as you approach it. Both you and Aya can get you guys to. No, not yet. You can sense its stench as it approaches closer and attempts to claw it at you. Does a 20 hit?
Oh yeah!
Wow.
So just 7 slashing damage. And roll me a Constitution saving throw. You feel as it lacerates across an unarmored section of your torso. you feel a vile toxin enter your bloodstream and pump through your system, but whatever divine power you still have to you, even in this land, manages to shake it off. So just 7 slashing damage. Next turn. Oh, I haven't drawn kobold. That's fine. I'll just switch them around. The other kobold-looking creature flanks beside, like right below its partner, and then turns to Aya. Does a what did I roll? Does a 19 hit?
Yes, I think it hits. Yeah, totally.
Taking a bite out of your ankle, the tiny thing bites deep, causing 6 piercing damage and 6 necrotic. As your total HP is reduced by 6 as well, and I'll be tracking that.
Total. Okay.
I'll be tracking that on him. Essentially, if I'll be tracking that. Yep. It drinks deep of your blood as you get a chance to retaliate. In return, it is your turn, Aya.
Okay. Quick question: do I recognize any one of them, like undead?
Like people from your life, or like the creature type?
Creature type. Like, are they zombies? Or
they are. Well,
undead.
Really. They are undead, but they don't. If they are zombies, they're creator zombies. You've faced zombies before in like previous adventures in your life being a paladin. These don't look like your regular zombies. These 3 of them, the ghastly types, their claws seem out of proportion with their body size, inhuman, as if misshaped by some abominable force beyond the realms of undeath. The 2 kobolds seem to be like zombified kobolds with sharp fangs on them. The woman who grabbed your skin, pale-skinned, 2 fangs, you would know that she's, at the very least, a vampire spawn.
Okay.
You are not sure of their capabilities because you've never faced such creatures before, though.
Okay, perfect. I'm grappled, right, at the moment?
You are not grappled, no.
Okay. I'm gonna cast how do you say, Searing Smite, and I'm gonna attack the vampire.
Sure. Whenever you cast spells, just link them up in chat so I can.
Sure.
I think I know them. I just don't want to second guess. Yep.
Yeah, of course. My bad. I forgot.
Searing energy coalesces around your weapon. It is concentration. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to attack her with the greatsword.
All right, go ahead and roll to hit. She manages to duck away closer to the ceiling and take a swipe at you. You exchange a few blows, nails raking against steel. Don't manage to harm her much.
That's all.
Sure, you maintain your frustration on a Searing Smite, and she begins to hiss at the light that it's emanating from it. Is it fire? Yeah, the fire heat emanating from it. All right. Your unseen servant. I just need to know, does it act on your turn? Yeah, as a bonus action on your turn. Okay.
It's a bonus action.
It's still there. Just keep it in mind. All right. With that, she retaliates back. Does a 12 hit?
Miss.
Attempting to grapple you, she wraps her hand around your shoulders, and you either, I don't know, you can describe your own action, I don't want to talk for you, but she misses. And attempts another swipe at you. With her elongated claws, 11 misses again. You manage either to block it with your armor or dodge altogether. She then moves, using her movement across the ceiling to leap onto the floor behind you, over yonder. The ghastly thing over yonder moves, leaping across crates onto one, and then leaping off the crate onto Samson's raised shield. It attempts to swipe at you.
Yeah.
I'm rolling it. It's just a little laggy. 14?
14 misses, so it hits me on my shield, and I kind of fall back a little bit and push it back.
It pushes and lands like behind you with the rest of its movement. Kind of landing on 4 feet, scraping the floor, and leaving a trace onto it. Novark, it is your turn.
Novark would just kind of push back a little just to get some range between him and the weird witch thing, or whatever it is. And Hunter's Mark onto the witch.
Onto the... Yep.
Yeah, the whatever it is, I don't know.
That's fine. I understand.
Yeah. And he'll just take aim and take a shot at it. So, first. Ho ho ho!
Ah!
Hits and crits.
And... Combo.
So, Hunter's Mark, what does that do? Because I didn't see you place them.
It's an extra d6 damage.
Damage? Nice.
So, 15 currently. And then
it's an extra dice, right? So you rolled the critical, and then the I see. Awesome. Lol. Sorry, I just glitched out. 18. Where are you aiming at with a shot?
It's just basically aiming direct towards her chest. Just
right towards it. It pierces.
Would she be facing me right now, or was she facing something?
She's facing with the back to you.
Back to me, right? So basically, just right towards her back, just below the neck point.
It pierces through her neck, going all the way back, and then the arrow gets stuck in there. She lets out a choke, and just blood begins to stream as you seem to have hit a major artery, and she begins to bleed. And then the bleeding stops, and you begin to see the flesh reform around where the wound is and stem it. The arrow remains. So that was 18. Okay. Awesome. Anything else in terms of... Oh, did you roll for Connell as well? You okay? Awesome.
Connell comes after that one.
He has his own initiative. Yeah. Nice. Okay. You hear the clanking of wood as one of the gas leaps again across beams of wood and chests, and it kind of takes its position over yonder, climbing onto the crate and using the elevation to underhand swipe at Aya. Aya, you are flanked, unfortunately, so this is going to be an adventurous swipe.
Okay.
Does a 17 hit?
Yeah, because I have my great sword. So yeah, it hits.
You fail to block fast enough as 10 slashing damage rakes across your back. I'll have you make me a concentration saving throw as more of that venom in its claws pumps into your system. All the while, the vampire spawn, the female Examon, surround them, kill them, don't let them escape. You are paralyzed. You fall to the ground.
Oof.
Paralyzed as the poison takes hold. Does anybody need a reminder of what paralyzed means?
No, like advantage on attack and critical on hit.
Yes, I just have to review it for myself, actually. Okay. Paralyzed. Connell's turn.
Connell would just basically run directly towards this one and just aim to buy in. And as he's within 5 feet, Samson, he does get advantage during pack tactics. As any ally within 5 feet, he'll get advantage. So, first one.
8.
And
10, unfortunately, doesn't hit.
10.
It's very, very low. Nonetheless, he clutches the jaw on one of the appendages of the creature, and he just checks it off, and Connell rebalances himself as he takes a more hostile stance. Anything else for Connell?
Yeah, that would be it.
Okay. Samson. Things are beginning to look dire as your companion's on the ground. The muscles seizing up.
So, Salem, give me strength. Protect my friends, and I'm going to call on my sanctuary. So, let me go ahead and turn on a 30-foot aura around me.
I appreciate you doing that for me because I'm so used to doing that for players.
So, that's a thing that now exists and is very nice.
Does it go around corners? I need to know.
The sphere is centered on you and has a 30-foot radius and is filled with dim light. The sphere moves with you and lasts 1 minute or until you are incapacitated or dies.
It doesn't mention otherwise, some kind of yes.
Yeah.
It's a sphere. It goes around. It encapsulates shelter from above from all angles. Unless you're like protected by another spell, like an anti-magic field, it goes around corners. All right, all of you feel that. Okay.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that is my action. Question.
Yes.
Can I step onto the same square that Aya is paralyzed
As long
on
as you
now?
don't end your turn in a friendly creature's or an enemy creature's
okay,
space,
no,
you
then
can
that
step
doesn't...
in, attack, and step out. Yep.
I couldn't attack because I don't have an action anymore.
But
I use my action.
In future.
I was looking at standing over her to basically try and say, attack me, not her, but that doesn't work, does it?
No. Just because if it worked, I'll be able to stack enemies, and you don't want that.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, like, you're within range of her, so you can defend her if you have like a reaction or anything with your shield or for flavor.
Yeah. But, so that's unfortunately it, because I don't have anything else up to do with my... Actually, no. This is wrong. I have something to do with my bonus action. Because I have telekinetic shove.
Nice.
I believe telekinetic shove is a bonus action.
It is.
So, So we're going to go ahead and blast. Let me get... We're going to blast the guy who hit me and say, get back.
Strength?
Yes, that is a DC 14 strength saving throw. Okay, well, that's it. So I'm gonna end my turn then. End of my turn, I get 1d6 plus 4.
If you are gonna enter... What is this? 1d6 plus 4?
My Twilight Sanctuary. A
Right.
d6 plus your cleric level.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw as you are still within the range of the stench of the two creatures beside you. 3. The gas gathering, you manage to resist the smell. I'll only make you like roll one instance if it's the same effect.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I gain from that 9 temporary hit points.
Thankfully, because of Connell's intervention, the creature right beside Aya, the minute kobold with fangs, is distracted enough not to attack her, and instead diverts his attention toward the wolf. Swiping at it and biting deep, or attempting to. Does a 22 hit Connell?
Yes.
I would imagine
Yep.
so. That, my friend, will be a total of 13 damage.
Oof.
Connell lets out a mighty yelp, and this creature tears out a large section of muscle at his shoulder that begins to bleed profusely. All of you who can see it see that Connell he's looking bad, and this whole situation is looking very, very dire. The gasser beside you, Samson, takes a swing.
Okay, yep.
Yep. 12.
12 misses.
Thankfully, you managed to deflect it
I
away.
block it again with my shield. Which, by the way, is the only thing I have in my hands right now. I do not have a hammer out.
Mm-hmm. All right. This creature, this kobold of undeath, so starved and gaunt it is that upon seeing the amount of pooling blood it's pouring out of the wolf, looks up and throw with a look of absolute madness, and begins to rake in the blood into its maw, feeding upon it. Ea, I believe, is a Constitution saving throw to get out of paralysis. Let me look into it.
Let's.
Yes, it is. DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, you repeated it at the end of your turn, but you're paralyzed at the end of your turn. You unparalyze yourself. Rise to your feet.
Okay.
Or not rise to your feet. Paralysis renders you prone? It doesn't. Cool, so you're on your feet.
Do I have an action, or it was
No,
at
it's the end of your turn,
my
unfortunately.
Okay.
You do, however, at the end of your turn, let's see if I got my coding right, get 6 temporary hit points from Twilight Sanctuary.
Okay. I did it wrongly. Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Quick question. Do I have a bonus action when I'm paralyzed?
It's the end of your turn.
Oh, okay.
It's the last thing you do on your turn is roll the save. It makes conditions matter, especially when you do monsters. Because otherwise you can just roll save and do your action anyway, and then like paralysis for nothing.
Yeah. Of course. My bad.
The vampire spawn woman turns to look at you, Novark. She clutches the arrow, breaks it, and pulls it out of the pack. This is yours. Here, let me return it! And she charges forth at top speed, inhuman speed, with a thing in her hand. Aya, you still have your reaction, and Samson, I believe, you still have your reaction, so if you want to waste it on an opportunity attack, you may, as she enters a blood rage and charges forward toward your... It's up to you.
I don't think I can do any, because I would have to make it would be an unarmed attack if I did, because I do not have my Warhammer out. And I do not have Warcaster.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it.
Okay, go ahead, swing. You swing, catching her at the knees. She almost goes out of balance, just like rake the side of the wall to catch herself back up. Go ahead and roll damage as that hits.
Okay.
You notice
that breaks my smite, right?
It does. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's the first thing you hit, yeah. So go ahead and roll Searing Smite as both fire and flame. Now, I was going to say, where the steel first cleaves, it digs deep, but the flesh immediately begins to form back, and then the smite comes, and it, like, what do you call it when you burn a wound closed? Whatever.
Cauterize?
Cauterize. Like, just the fucking... She lets out a mighty howl. 10 slashing damage plus the fire damage from Searing Smite is... What's my total here?
I'm gonna... sorry, I was checking in which level I was casting it. Level 2. And... submit. And I'm gonna...
damage?
Yeah, and I'm gonna send... how to say? Divine Smite on it.
Good, you can, yeah.
It's 1d8, if I recall correctly.
The might of your god cleaves into this creature as she is still charging toward... Okay. Is it just a 1d8?
Yeah. I think it's... because I only have level 1, but if it's an undead, I think it's level...
It is undead. You're fighting against undead.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. It was 2d8 and plus 1d8 for...
I'll count
for
the first
being
d8
undead.
you rolled as the first one, and then you roll 1 on the second one. I feel sorry for you. I'll let you have the 6. I'll allow it.
Thanks.
With a mighty cleave.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, with a mighty cleave, you slice. She almost gets knocked unbalanced. You can see where the smite hits, the wounds don't close. As she charges toward you, Novark, she goes ahead and does her swing at you with the arrow tip in her grasp.
10.
Yeah.
It's a miss.
You manage to dodge out of the way. She drops the arrow tip at your feet and then goes for like a backhanded slap, raking her claws, or trying to rake her claws across. 17?
That's a hit.
She slashes for 7 as she backhands you, essentially, but ends her turn right in front of you. The gas to the south, Samson begins to wail, both fists at your shield, trying to knock it away and earn an opening towards your neck. It goes ahead and knocks the shield away, and before you manage to bring it back in, it will attempt to like bite right at the neck there. See if you can be fast enough. Slap it out of the way.
Yeah, I feel I just kind of turned my shoulder a little bit, and it bites the chainmail and goes, no, sorry. No. That doesn't quite work.
You like twitch away and like manage to take a tooth out, and it just reels back angry. With that, Novark, it is your turn.
Right, well, I've lost my range. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling another weapon would be an action, wouldn't it? Or,
Isn't that a free interact item interaction?
Free interact item action. So it's...
yeah, so you'd still be holding these bow in one hand, but he just kind of reaches to his side and then just takes a dagger he just takes the dagger at his side and just launches out and slices it across her face.
Sure.
So,
plain steel dagger?
Yeah, I've got it here. 10.
She catches your wrist, dagger, like inches away from her face, and then just swings your arm away and then prepares another swipe at you, essentially. As she's clutching the dagger close to her face, she just smirks at you. I'm like, I'm gonna wear your wolf skin. Anything else on your turn?
That'll be it. That's all I can do.
That's fair enough.
Have 8 temporary hit points.
Ooh.
I love Twilight Sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
Lets me help all of
You're
my
not
party
the only one.
Ea, the ghast to your north attempts to grapple you. He's gonna go ahead and roll strength. You can contest with an athletics or an acrobatics to see if you can dodge out of the way or like wrestle him out of it. He rolls 17.
Oh, please.
He manages to grapple you. It's all he can do on his turn, but nonetheless, you are grappled.
Okay, can I speak with Samson?
Yeah, sure. I allow conversation for a comment, yeah.
Samson, you think that you can run away? I don't think we can win this.
Possibly, I have a couple ideas. But yes, maybe. Right. We'll see in a minute.
Okay. Try to run away. As a bonus action, I wanna move my unseen servant near here.
Connell?
Near Cornell. And as an action, I want to prepare an action. And I wanna... Okay. When Samson gets away, the farthest he can, I wanna use my Warplock trait to get in my genie vessel. And hopefully they won't notice.
What the fuck is this? What is
That's
that? That's a wall of text. Oh, dude,
Sorry,
give me like that. I'm not gonna read all that. I'm gonna read later, but like, give me like.
Okay, as an action,
Synopsis.
I get inside like my pendant.
Okay.
It's like my Warplock future, and I can only get myself inside of it. I don't know if my unseen servant can get inside. I'm hoping it gets outside. But at the moment,
this is awesome. It's just so
I want
much.
to get
I'm not
inside
gonna
of it.
read through all of it, but okay.
Yeah.
All right, keep
don't
on watching.
worry.
Keep on watching our reaction then. All right. You are grappled. I mean, you can't ready in action. It's not your turn yet, though.
Yeah. That's. I want to wait for Samson to move.
It's Connell's turn. What does Connell do?
Yeah, not much he can do right now, because if he tries to move away, he's going to get a reaction against him.
They're gonna try.
Yeah, well, one of them's distracted with drinking.
One of them is distracted by the blood. Only one of them seems to be actively engaged with them.
Yeah, so, yeah, he's just going to lash out and just try to bite it just to get away from him. Still pack tactics and going here. 21.
21 hits.
Okay, and that would be 4 piercing.
And strength save against being prone.
Yes.
That is a terrible roll.
Strength save. These things are not very strong, but he rolled a fucking 18 because he's a Chad.
Yeah. And then after the bite, he is going to try and retreat back because he is injured.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Would they be able to, with the bite of distracted that enough where it would leave him? Like he's going to...
I'm going to say, because you just attacked him, I'm going to, for flavor's sake, give him disadvantage on opportunity attack as he retaliates.
Okay, that is... Well, if he can make it, he'll make it to about there.
Right. If fate has it, he'll make it. He'll go ahead and try that with disadvantage. 9.
That's a miss.
Mm-hmm. Even with a normal roll, who would have missed? Even with pack tactics, who would have missed? Back tactics disadvantage. He swipes and Connell manages to limp away. He still has movement speed if he so wishes, but you know, it's up to you.
If he won't be able to get past her, would he? So I'm just thinking, would he be able to run over the planks and get to the door? That's
long jump.
He's got 25 feet of movement left.
Roll like acrobatics is dexterity. Roll like dexterity for the wolf, and I'll tell you how well that goes if you want to attempt that.
Okay. 10.
10. Just gonna give him like a temporary flyby. Is it? Let me just roll something real quick. Contest. As the wolf sails past above the vampires, the hand that was about to rake you just clips him in his underbelly, digging deep, and you can hear the whelp. He makes it all the way across the room, landing over here at the edge of the stairs, but you see him like lose balance of his feet and just fall onto the planks, and he's prone, rolling death saves.
Yep.
He will roll death saves on the beginning of his next turn. Samson.
Oh, that sucks. That is just out of range. So you had said that I can move into an ally's square temporarily.
Correct, yeah. As long as you don't finish your turn in another creature's space that's the same size as you.
So I will step to here.
Yep.
And I will shout effectively, get back, and I will blast Word of Radiance out. That is a DC 14 con save to all enemies within 5 feet of me that I can see.
Okay, so that's
all
3 gas.
All 4 of those guys next to me. The 3 gas and the 1 cobalt.
2, 8, 10, and 16. Kobold, I think, is the only one who manages to save against that. Is it just
only 4 radiant damage?
Something. They shield their eyes, gasping. as they reel back. The one grappling Aya still manages to keep his hold, but gets slightly loosened, giving Aya an opportunity to perhaps get out. I will go ahead and give you an advantage on the check to get out of the grapple because of Sapson's assist there. The kobold wasn't affected by it. Anything else?
And I will then move to here, which is going to provoke attacks opportunity.
Unfortunately. The kobold already attacked with opportunity. It's not top of the round yet, but two ghasts will have... the one ghast grappling cannot, so the other ghast is the only one who is going to go ahead and roll that attack opportunity against you. Does a natural one does not hit. Not only does he not manage to hit you, his swing cleaves across his ally to his side, and like air gets ungrappled as he lashes at the fellow ghast and takes out like an eye out with 12 piercing damage against him. Critical fail.
So, let me just double check one last thing. It's within 60 feet, so I'm within range. Can I see Connell? I can see just the very corner clip, just the very
He has half
edge
cover,
of
but
his
you can see him.
icon.
Yeah, you can see like the pod.
Okay.
For the sake of spell, you can see him. Yes.
Bonus action, healing word.
Connell gets back up with 7
Get up.
hit points.
Well, that's everything, because that's action move, and I don't really want to move too much further back yet.
You feel something begin climbing up your back as the kobold begins to climb up your armor. Like, you can feel the piercing of its limbs against your armor, and then it begins to like pull at your hair and attempts to like slash at your neck from behind. It's gonna go ahead and maneuver over yonder and roll. It only has bite attacks, but whatever. With pack tactics, unfortunately, with advantage, that would be 25.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Lacerating across, you take the 7 plus 6 is 13, I believe. Math? Yes. You take 13 points as it gets 6, 12 in total. It licks its fingers where it lacerated, and you begin to see its wounds begin to close up in places.
0 and
Yeah.
there. And because I don't actually know how this works, the fact that I had 9 temporary hit points, I don't know how that affects necrotic stuff.
That goes away first before your
So it burns through my temporary hit points, and I take 4 after that.
And whatever remains is taken off the top. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's a shield against such effects. Yeah.
Yeah, that one I know. I just, with its extra stuff with the necrotic, I don't know if temporary hit points changes what it gets to do or not.
Okay.
Right, the dropping max. But
the gas climbs up the wall and begins to maneuver over toward the dog and Novak. It's top of the round, so you can use the opportunity attack if you so wish, as it maneuvers past you out of your range of yonder.
Again, I just have unarmed attacks.
A as well. It's top of the round, so you're ungrappled, so you can go ahead and swing if you so wish to opportunity attack this thing as it maneuvers over.
Let's go for it.
Okay. 24 hits. For a mighty 12 damage.
Okay. I try to cut his head. Please tell me it cut.
You do manage to mark quite the deep laceration across the back of his neck. Unfortunately, he's still standing, but the wound is very, very effective. He is essentially bloodied. He cannot make it all the way. He makes it like about here. Okay. That's that. Oh, he makes it here. Climb. Okay. The other kobold gets up from the floor, licking its fingers from where the pool of wolf blood was. Getting up, it begins to move to flank along with its packmate, and attacks Samson. 22.
Hits.
Bad time.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
I am bloodied at this point.
Alright, blood and faltering. Aya. May fate be on your side. It's your turn.
Samson, can you escape?
I can try.
Okay. I'm gonna attack this guy, but before attacking, I wanna use a bow of. I am gonna attack him only.
That hits.
Okay. And I'm gonna use one smite on it.
Go for it.
So 2d8 plus 1 because he's undead. So 3d8s.
Awesome. 15 plus 11. You bloody him, you stagger him, he's on his last legs at this point, the wound's not closing. You take off one arm and it flings to the corner of the room, and where it lands it begins to shrivel up and become husk-like as black ichor seeps away in the floor, begins to corrupt the floor itself. Smell is accurate. Can I make you make me a Constitution saving throw as you remain in the stench? But that is mighty hit.
Constitution, you say, right?
Constitution, please, yes.
Okay.
DC 10.
Oh, Jesus.
You are poisoned, my friend.
Okay.
Until the start of its next turn. Okay, so go ahead and have it. Yes, I think it's just disadvantage on ability checks. Alright. Sickening stench gets to you, and you manage to not vomit, but nonetheless, poison is poison. Bloody, the vampirus is still struggling against Novar.
Hey, you get 8 hit points.
8. Amazing, thanks.
Yep, 8 temporary.
The vampirus stares you in the eyes, Novak, as she goes, "You will not get in the master's plans. Nothing gets between him and his wants." She is gonna go ahead and use her multi-attack, trying to grapple you. Succeeding in the grapple, she's gonna go ahead with a bite. That will be a total of 17 damage against Novak.
So,
As
8, so 9 onto that.
Alright. Don't worry about reducing the HP because I'm keeping that on her sheet, essentially.
Yeah. Okay.
Multiple things happening. Okay. As she grapples you, she begins to drag you at half speed toward the back of the room and begins lifting you up 5 feet off the ground. Like, all the while keeping her lips sealed at your neck and lifting you up as she begins to climb up. You're essentially like 5 feet off the ground, like, yada. Alrighty then. That is the end of her turn. More of her wounds begin to seal up as the ghast to your east. Samson is gonna go ahead and take a swing at you. You're being flanked, so unfortunately with that.
Yep.
21, 5 piercing damage.
That hits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Novark.
So he's currently being pinned, or
You're being grappled, lifted up off the ground. You can spend an action to try and get out, or you can attack her at melee range, no problem. Or you can even attack at range, I believe.
Wait, is she still holding his arms, or is she just holding him?
She's holding you in her grasp and lifting you off the ground, all the while sucking blood out of your neck.
Alright, so yeah, he's just going to basically. Would for him just tossing his bow towards Connell be an action, or would they still need to be holding it with that?
Sorry.
He's just trying to get rid of his bow for his hands. Would that still be an action? Because I've had a
No,
DM
switching.
data.
We're gonna say moving forward in this campaign, switching weapons is a free action. Go.
Right, so it basically throws his bow towards Connell, and he just kind of, with his arm, he just kind of tries to grab his head, and the knife's still in his hand. He just tries to like stab right into the side of his head.
Go ahead and roll the hit. What are you trying to do with Connell? Is he gonna like shoot a bow? Like, that's gonna be cool.
Oh.
Like,
17.
70 hits.
Okay, and
She's
damage.
a dexterous thing, but grappling you, she's not dexterous.
17.
7.
No, 7, sorry.
Oh, that's a
I
good dagger.
I read my pop number again, yeah. Yeah, he's just trying to get it off.
You stab again and again and again, some of the wounds closing as she continues to suck on your sustenance. You begin to feel weakened as your vital essence is drained away, and hers is revivified. Nonetheless, you cause a little bit of damage, and fresh blood, your blood, pours out from those wounds. Alright. Gus.
And
Yep.
7 hit points.
That's your saving grace. The Gus to your north, Aya, over yonder, is going to go ahead and take a swing at you. Attempting to bite. 16.
Miss.
They land on your horns, he gnaws on them a little bit before like trying to yank it away. Thankfully not cracking too big of a piece off. 19 piercing damage if that would have hit. That's insane. Alright, cool. Connell's turn.
Wow, I didn't notice 19.
Right, I saw that
Yeah.
one.
No, he was just, then Connell's not going to try and shoot a fucking arrow.
Just grabs it in his mouth and like he pulls it with his paw. It would have been funny.
No, he's just trying to get out of the road mostly.
Okay.
Well, Connell's going to see basically Novar's in trouble, so he's just going to try and just leap onto his back and just bite in it, just try and tear at it, just try and get it off. Like basically trying to tear it away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Fuck, that sucks to see. Unfortunately,
But it doesn't have advantage because he's flanking.
yeah, natural 20, yay! Good call, good call.
Oh, thank you.
Nice, 13 damage.
Yep. And or even if not, then pack tactics, Connell would have gone into the side and done pack tactics then, even if it wasn't flanking.
True. And with that, she releases Novak, from her grasp. I'm gonna say it because it's a natural 20. Rare enough instance to make something awesome happen. She's gonna go ahead and release you from her grasp. You drop onto the floor, onto your feet, as the wolf maintains its grip, I guess, on the back of her neck. Samson.
She doesn't count as a creature, does she?
She counts as a creature.
Then wouldn't she need to make also a DC saving throw to not be prone?
Yep.
It's a strength.
Mm-hmm. I'm on it.
It's 11. She needs.
She's a very strong being.
Yeah.
And Connell gets 6 temporary hit points or prior temporary hit point value, whichever is higher. I don't know if I gave Connell temporary hit points last time, if Connell was just out of range.
He was out of range. I kept track
He
of that.
was.
Yeah, so at least it's something. Okay. I'm concerned. I'm going to say, get back, and I will blast with Word of Radiance. Wait a minute. Why is that? Why is my die showing a 4?
I think you're rolling wrong. Go ahead and decide what's going on with that die there as I go ahead and roll those saving throws for Constitution. 2 here, and the Ghast.
Sorry, Tom, is there any windows around here? Or
There is. I don't know if you can
windows?
see them, but there are many windows. There are 2 directly next to you. Yes, you can see them, right? One to your north.
Okay, this
Those
one.
are the closest ones. Windows, yes. You're on the second story. You're about 20 feet off the ground. If you were to like get on the other side of that window, but yes, it is same as I described it. Ironworks laced with foggy glass.
Okay.
Natural 20 on the kobold, save 18 and 15. They all save, unfortunately.
They all save. Okay, so this is interesting. Yeesh, I hate having to do this, but healing word on myself for 5 hit points. Come on, give me the edit. Then go, so +5. So I at least have something. Yeah, where can I run to? Where can I run to?
You can see that I'm looking at the window.
Yeah, so windows are... Is that a window? I just see the very edge of a wall.
Yeah.
Didn't you say the windows had iron bars
but-
on them?
Yeah, that's the catch. So I'm actually going to go ahead and go that way and risk the attack of opportunity from the ghoul. Or ghast, I mean. And so I'm just going to go there and stay.
13.
Let's just see if I'm looking at this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay there because I am concerned about taking additional attacks opportunity. I'm just kind of gonna slowly edge my way out. And
Okay.
I will end my turn there.
Trying to cut your...
And I will
Yep. Trying to cut your
myself
escape. The kobold
for-
goes ahead and swings at your ankles, trying to bite deep. It's going to go ahead and roll a natural 1. In your haste to get out of there, you kick its head, dealing bludgeoning damage to it. Can I get you to go ahead and roll me like 2d4? Critical failure, my monsters deserve. Oh no!
Oh, pack tactics.
Pack tactics.
Oh no.
That's a lot of damage that's about to happen.
Yeah,
I'm not even
That's-
down if it's down.
that's 13. Yeah, that's lethal. I'm down entirely.
Well, not entirely, not lethal, but yes.
Yeah, I'm down to nothing.
The kobolds begin to pile
Actually, I'm
up
down to
onto...
-2.
Right. Kobolds begin to pile down toward upon Samson as the situation grows even more dire.
And
Mm-hmm.
but the sanctuary's gone.
Yikes.
Because Twilight Sanctuary is only while I am until I am incapacitated, which being down is incapacitated or die. 0 is incapacitated.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. As you go down and the kobolds begin to rake at you, trying to get the meatiest chunks out of you while you're down, the last glimpse you see before your consciousness fails you, the ghast approaching you, seeing you being like squabbled over essentially by like you're already somebody's prey, and they start being sniffs about and looks toward is closer. And it's gonna try and down another. Aya, you take damage if this hits. 18. No.
How much?
18.
Okay, yeah, it hits.
It hits?
Yes.
Yeah, don't you have 19 armor?
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. My
Yeah.
bad. 19.
I don't think poison affects armor. So that misses. Alright. Unfortunately, as the kobolds are piling upon something, so they are hitting automatically. You are prone, and it's a melee attack, so that's 2 failed death saves.
Yep.
As this kobold over here begins to tear at you. Hey, Samson is looking on death's door.
My God, where is a healing word when you need it? Reach him. Okay, how does the window look? I mean, is boarded?
It The shutters outside are boarded, but because they're closed inwards, if you burst through, you can probably just shatter them apart. The real concern is the iron bars that kind of lattice across the window, and they're secured to the stone by simple stone bolts. A strength check.
Can I see?
You could probably bash. Can
I see glass?
Yes, there's.
Can I see glass?
Yeah, there's glass.
And through the glass, can I see the outside?
Yeah, it's bright enough outside you see Vallaki's east end. Yeah, there are stockyards. Yeah.
Let me know if this goes. I'm gonna get in the coin, in the necklace. So now I'm the size of the coin, and as a bonus action, I wanna tell my servant. They can attack the servant if he moves, right?
The servant is invisible.
Yeah, but
can he be attacked? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
If he's detected.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if you're. I want that the servant picks the coin where I am, and
as far as I can see, the coin pendant, the tiny object, can just hover in the air. Yep.
Yeah, and throw me here.
Throw yourself there.
Is Samson dead?
No,
or
he's on the ground dying though.
Okay. Samson's on the ground being eaten alive currently.
Okay, I'm gonna try. Yeah. I want him to throw the coin to this spot.
He does so. It's the pendant sails across and lands with a clank. The chaos of the battle is too distracting for any of the enemies to notice.
Okay. That's my turn. I cannot do anything else.
Something. All right.
Oh shit! I should have chosen another spot. Well, fuck.
Too late now. The vampiress attempts to grapple Connell away from her back of her neck. She rolls 21, grappling it and trying to take a chunk out of his neck. She's going to roll a bite attack. 16 to hit. Hits.
Yeah, that's a hit.
12. Again, Connell is...
He's still standing.
Still standing with temporary hit points? Awesome.
Yep, just one.
Oh my god.
This is hard to
So it's like Connell being like launched back into the hole, or she just biting on him?
She's grasping him with one arm.
Right.
You would make a fine pelt. Doesn't even pay you any more attention at this point. Yeah, all right. Poison ends on Aya at the end of its turn.
Do I have poison damage, or is the
no? It's just the poison condition.
Dismantle. Okay.
All right. The ghast is looking around, trying to spot where you've went. He saw the glint of something shiny, and he maneuvers over, seeing the two kobolds fisting something, and he just kind of snorts. Finished, and dismisses Samson. Pretty much leaves him for dead. Unable to spot you, he slowly begins to maneuver over to where Novak is standing. And he just makes it. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong sheet. Okay, I was like, that's a lot of damage for a ghast. Does a 22 hit?
Yes.
Over 18 piercing damage as he charges in with a bite. Norak's down.
Norak's down.
Fuck. Before, as conscious begins to elude you, and you go prone, you faintly hear a sound of rushed steps upon the stairs, and then pass out. You are rolling death saves, no work on your turn.
Yeah, how do you do that again? It's been a while since I've had to roll a death save.
It's literally the death save button right below the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's 1 success.
Okay.
Thankfully, this gust is way out of range. Yeah, okay, just out of range. Awesome. As he charges across the room, keen to finish off, Connell takes his turn.
Yeah, he's still being held.
He's being grappled, yes, but he's within melee range of both targets, well, close to him, so he can attack either. This gust is looking quite roughed up, beyond bloodied on his last legs. This one is simply bloodied, tracing ichor across the wall as he walks across the room. The vampirist looks fine, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's basically just trying to lash out at anything, so I guess he hits this one.
Go for it.
While he's just lashing out.
Sure. He manages to keep it in its grasp, but
it's a miss. It's a miss.
Yeah. Attempts to bite, she pulls it back, and she goes, No. I like to fight in you. Looks down at Novark and just goes, You'll be reunited soon. Samson, you are rolling death save.
Well,
Oh,
one success.
You manage to keep alive.
Yes.
Consciousness begins to return to you, but to your horror, the last thing you see before it fails you again is the kobold vampire.
Oh, I forgot about something.
What?
My bad, man. Half-orcs have relentless endurance, so they won't go down.
Go for it.
They only have
The first
one
Bounce
HP.
back, I'll allow it. Yep.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I wait till my turn and basically allow that to bounce back, or do you want me to do it now?
Do it now in retrospect because you would have triggered it then.
Yeah, sorry, that was my bad.
Alright.
Yeah.
Did I skip over your turn then? Because you rolled a death save. Yeah, it is skip over your turn. Go ahead and take your turn before this.
Okay.
You look over and you see like the kobold's pretty much finishing off Samson at this point.
Yes.
Coup de grace.
So he'll have a reaction again. That gas will have a reaction against me now. So yeah, I'm very much. Yeah. What's the rate? 1 second. Just checking something, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
Just fucking music though.
Okay, like Novark is just basically just going to be like right up against the wall, and he's not going to be able to do much right now. He move. Novark just raises his hand. It starts to glow, and he casts Cure Wounds on Samson.
I can't range Cure Wounds is touch.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the other one. Oh, yes, it is. Shit.
Healing Word's the good one
I
that
got
lets you
them
hit at range.
Yeah.
Which you
I
don't
got
have,
mixed up.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Nah. No. Screw it. No.
Probably Cure Wounding yourself is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Novar's just going to Cure Wounds himself here. One. Oh. 5. Just 5 each.
Better than nothing.
You know what? He's got movement. Would he be able to just try and basically get over this witch towards the stairs? Because he's on a crate, she's technically put him on a crate.
Sorry, I was reading something. I'm sorry, I'm back. What's up?
Yeah. He's technically on a crate right now that she's
Yes.
put him on. Yeah. So he's just going to do it. He's just going to try and basically leap over her and just try and get to the stairs in desperation, basically.
Sure. In desperate times. You can go ahead and roll athletics, try and just shove her away and avoid opportunity attack altogether if you manage to beat it.
16.
A 16 contested by hers. 1 moment. Vampire spawn. You managed to shove her out of the way. She's so sorry with you that you managed to pass through, not earning her opportunity attack.
Okay, so he'll be able to get to here.
You managed to get there, and in adrenaline, you look down to see where the ghast that your wolf was attacking lacerated you. The wound cuts so deep that blood streaks out, and you begin to lose consciousness again. And the last thing you see before you fall to your knees is Irina Kolyana coming up the stairs, a raven on her shoulder.
He doesn't even know who she is.
Fair enough. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Some woman with like a sword unsheathed and a raven on her shoulder is coming up the stairs, eyes wide as you come to top stairs, and you have to like balance yourself with one hand before you fall unconscious. Unfortunately, the gust still had opportunity attack as you passed him, but
yeah, I knew he would have, but he was just trying to.
Yeah, you kind of had no choice.
Yeah, I was cornered completely. The one was coming for me.
I don't know if you can hear from within the medallion, Aya, but if you could, you would hear the guttural, ugly sound of Samson's throne getting ripped out as he dies.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Oh yeah, Samson was going down there completely.
Oh.
There was no way Samson was making it out of that one.
Yeah, I can hear. Okay.
I choose not to. La, 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 la.
I'm crying inside the medallion. Okay.
Or you retrieved the medallion. In fact, like I was like, all right, he's dies. Then the ghast kneels down, begins to like feast on Samson's leg as well, and it's a grisly scene as the kobold does the same thing, wasting his turn to pretty much feast and heal up. Fate, it is your turn.
I'm gonna heal myself inside the medallion, and that's it. I can be here for hours.
I am medallion now. Fuck that shit.
I am just a medallion. I am not a... please ignore the necklace lying on the ground. Yes, please ignore the coin lying on the ground. Pay it no mind.
Oh my.
Alright. I hate violence against animals, but alas, this is D&D. The vampirus lifts up Connell, and you hear a sickening crack as, with a quick snap of her claws, the wolf then falls limp beside her as she lazily stretches down and then begins sniffing about. You smell that? She came. At this point, I'm gonna say we're no. The vampirus makes her way to the threshold, meeting Irina Kolyana face to face. Irina lifts a sword in a defensive stance. Nobody is here to witness this, but cinematic-wise, I'll describe pretty much what happens. Let him go. Take me. I'll go to him. Just spare them. You're not sure what happens in the minutes that follow. I'm going to do this one by one, as starting with Aya. How long does your amulet last for?
I'm gonna check, but minimum 3 hours at the moment. But I'm gonna look for it specifically. Mm-hmm.
Is it safe to say that you heal to full health in that time? Because you can short rest before you are
I can short rest.
Essentially forced out of the medallion eventually, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You come out of the medallion. It is nightfall at this point. Several hours have passed. The grizzled remains of Samson lay on the floor, his eyes never shut. A wolf's corpse lays against the planks to the south of you. Traces of the battle, rakes up on the wood, blood everywhere. It's a grisly scene, but the monsters nowhere to be found, and it is eerily quiet, save for sound of the shuffle of cloth from somewhere at the stairs. What do you
I can move, or
You can move. You're out of your amulet.
ah,
right?
yeah. After a while, yeah. If I was forced, okay, I try to sneak. Okay.
Roll yourself.
Okay. So Samsung is definitely dead, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Physically, he looks very much dead.
Yeah. So. I'm
You
sorry, friend.
Try and stealth, but you nudge one of the lumber pieces, and you hear the sound of cloth stop and something metallic drop to the ground near the stairs to the south, and they gasp. Huh? Who's there?
Do I recognize the voice?
Yes, it is that of Father Lucian.
Okay.
By the light, show yourself! You see a quivering hand across the threshold of the door. He's holding onto a holy symbol, and as you approach, it's in your face, and he's like, oh God, it's just you. You look down, and you see that Father Lucian has been bandaging your orc companion's wounds. He's breathing, stable, but heavily wounded, and is kind of slipping in and out of consciousness. 0 HP stable.
Okay. Father Lucian, have you seen Samson? Can you do something for him?
There's nothing I can do for that boy. He fought valiantly, but his wounds are too great. Those unholy beasts. A raven came to the church. It seemed odd in its behavior. An omen of sorts. I followed it, brought Irina with me. She ventured forth. I was tending to the man downstairs, Henrik. When I came upstairs, Irina was gone, along with all those fiends. I found Samson in his state, but there's nothing I could have done for him. Your friend here, I think you live.
Okay, I'm gonna inspect Norvak. I'm gonna give him 1 HP with lay of hands on his shoulder.
Become conscious. Your wound's aching, but you're alive. By the gods, you're alive. Before you... have you met Father Lucian before?
Nope.
No.
You've seen priests before, or would have known about them one way or another. He seems priestly. Adorned in vestments, with his front vestment is adorned with emblazonment of like a rising sun that seems to decorate in a radiant pattern outwards. He holds onto a holy symbol in one hand, and his hands are as bloody as that of a surgeon's. Bloody with your blood, that is. You're right, son.
He's just kind of looking around. He just doesn't know where he is. He just seems out of it. Where is everyone?
He seems shocked a little bit. There's something I can do here. Just one moment. I just need... He looks in his robe pockets for a few scrolls of spells. Here. Light cure you, child. As he casts... Can I upcast Cure Wounds at 3rd level? Sure can.
Oh, yeah.
You regain 14 health. I roll natural 1. You regain 14 health points. Here. This will clear your mind.
He just kind of just drags himself up, obviously, still in pain for the wounds.
Right.
Yeah.
It is
Then,
quite a venture to be brought back from the realm of the dead. You were barely breathing when I found you. Take your time. Don't sit up just yet. I'm sorry about your companion, though, and he points toward the silhouetted carcass of Connell. I'm not sure what I can do for the beast. I tried healing it, but the spell took no effect. Lies. Roll death saves for it.
Yeah.
I never killed it.
Right, so I'll just do death saves on my character.
One after another until you succeed or fail. And we'll see what.
Yeah. Oh.
I couldn't do for it. It's
Nat 20.
God all flips.
Yeah, so
Samson's just in there like, yeah, that must be nice.
You
what I'll
teach
do
him
is,
how to play that.
for effect, I'll just kind of like Novark would just whirl towards him. His hand would just go, and he would just try himself. Yeah, he would just try the cure wounds thing himself just to try and get him.
Okay.
Yeah. Just for effect. There we go. So yeah. Paul just starts breathing.
I got a confession out of the man. It seems that you've shaken him to his core, and he's in a shocked state downstairs, this Henrik, but he confessed to me about the bones. I thank you. Seems that your sacrifice did not go in vain, and your heroic deeds went far to save Vallaki from far worse fate. I fear to think how many more would have died if you haven't recovered the bones. There's no sight of the beasts. They fled. Few sighted them as they made their way past the city walls, but they moved at uncanny speed. That blasted guard's captain rather, is busying himself with doing what he does best and convincing people that what they saw is not what they saw. You know how it goes. All is well. Spits on the ground. Come now, let us see if your friend. I'll do what I can to provide him proper burial, I suppose.
Okay, I'm gonna try to pick Samson's body.
It's sort of whole. Barely held together. It's been feasted upon, but not for too long, for only a few seconds before they retreated, so... It's a ghastly sight. Unpleasant. Morbid. Hold that thought. Samson?
Yes.
Yes. Give me 2 seconds here. I got music for this. I just need to scroll all the way up for it. There it is. You awaken? I'm not sure if you can call this sensation being awake or being asleep. Being. What is being? You take a look around. There's nothing but an infinite veil of fog in all directions. The ground beneath seems to be made of a dark fluid upon which you are standing. It flows beneath you in a stream. Is it blood? Is it water? Impossible to tell. Space. Material space. Up above, the skies seem to be as equally infinite. From this... Yeah, go ahead.
And I'll try and call some level of light to my hand to try and see if I even exist.
You look down upon
imagining
your hand,
things.
upon the translucency of it, upon the equally misty form of it. You're not wearing any clothes. Bare the day you were born.
This is new. Okay. Well, I guess I failed. Oh well. Hopefully I did at least some good before that happened.
Failure is subjective, mortal. The voice, ethereal, incorporeal, you can't tell its source, and at the same time it comes from everywhere, including within your very mind. I've been watching you for quite some time. You are such a fascinating creature. I don't think I'm done with you yet. In the horizon line of the fog, you can see a silhouette of some object, larger than yourself, towering 10 feet tall. It looks crystalline in nature, translucent as light from somewhere seems to pierce through it. A vessel, a crystalline vessel made of pure ember, rests. You don't remember when it got so close to you. It's getting closer, and before you know it, you are standing right before it. Within this vessel, a dark moat that can be only described as pure darkness incarnate. A tiny moat, no bigger than your hat, wisps within, and as the voice speaks, it too undulates outwards.
This is not what I was expecting. Who are you?
I think that my name matters not anymore. I am but a remnant of what I was. Truly, I don't think I even remember what I was. But I think you can help me with that. Tell me, Paladin of Saloon, do you wish for another chance? Another chance at life? Another chance at this blink of an existence of yours? Or would you embrace the void? Move on to whatever waits beyond?
I do not fear the void, but I feel I could do more good.
I think that you can do so much. You have such potential. I scratch your back, and you scratch, well, whatever essence of mine represents a back.
What would you need of me? There are things I would not do. I would not compromise my faith.
I would not ask you to do anything you wouldn't have done already. You are already fated to meet with one hero of the northern reaches. He holds something of mine. In his possession is my salvation. I want it. Once you will meet with him, you will take that which is mine, marked by my mark, and return it to me, to my vessel. This very thing before you, entrapped in the mists, in a temple most forgotten. It is time.
That seems innocent enough. Suppose if I want the chance to continue to do good and help people in the world, I should accept.
Help.
Suppose I shall.
People. The last word comes out with a slight mock to it, but nonetheless the essence compels you closer. Accept my bargain, touch my vessel, and you will be granted a second chance at greatness.
I will slowly... Actually, I suppose I don't need to walk towards the vessel now, because it's basically at me, isn't it? I will reach my hand out slowly and touch the vessel.
The pain is indescribable. There is nothing like being returned to life. The resurrection sickness is both draining, and the return of sensation is a rude awakening. You cough blood. Clutched within the grasp of Ea, you look up to see her face greet yours. But more painful than being brought back to life, back to the lands of Barovia, is a searing pain upon your left hand. A mark etched in black, a crescent moon facing downwards, with infernal runes all over it, spreading like black veins halfway down your arm. And the words...
Yeah, I was going to say, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, I guess that...
I'm going to try and read the words, I suppose.
Do you speak Abyssal?
I do not speak Abyssal, I speak Infernal. Which is different, isn't it?
Marks are wild, as if etched by some wild thing. Some wild beast.
Does his marks are easy to read, or only he sees it? Because I speak Abyssal, that's why I'm asking. Do I see it, honestly?
If you look at it, if he doesn't attempt to hide it, you see it.
I'm not attempting to hide it. I'm kind of holding my arm out, trying to look at it. I suppose I have the strength to do that at this point, right? I'm not completely feeble. I'm a little bit struggling, probably.
While you're suffering from resurrection sickness, which is something, you are capable of standing on your own feet, yes.
Yeah. That's concerning. And not what I was expecting.
How are you back?
I met...
You were
something.
dead. I heard them eating you.
Yeah. Pretty sure I was dead. I met something on the other side. It was not at all what I was expecting. Apparently, it wasn't done with me yet, and so brought me back. I'm assuming that this is some price that it will extract from me. I'll have to figure out what that is.
The abyssal word, a single word, reads the name of a most ancient deity. Jodun. It is both familiar and unfamiliar. A forgotten piece of lore.
Sorry.
Something to look to maybe research next session.
Yeah.
Does Judun something means anything to you? Or have you always had those markings? Really?
These are not normal. I would probably be much more concerned about this, except the fact that I was just dead, and that's probably still in shock. That's not good. I'm going to go ahead and cast guidance on myself for some of the comfort that spell provides. The feeling of something guiding my hand, because I am more than a little shocked right now.
You're not the only one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is at this point, as the priest enters the room and kneels to inspect your wounds, trying to his best to provide some form of healing or another, that his hands trace on the mark, and you see him make the same sign of faith, of protection. Why, the gods. I haven't seen a mark this bad. I've only seen this mark once before, in the tomes of lore in the church. It is forbidden knowledge for most folk. But if this is what I think it is, I think you might have had a closer encounter with the gods than expected.
Well, I encounter a god, relatively often. I channel their power, but this is not Saloon's mark. That much I know.
I think your soul is being contested between the two deities. He ponders this, but then gets distracted by the more glaring, disturbing fact. He looks around and realizes something. Where is Irina? Calling his daughter.
What do you mean? Where's Irina? She's in the church. That's where she was.
She came
No, Samson.
with me.
I heard her say something. She said
Women
that
on the stairs.
she was going to him.
Of course.
To him.
Yes, I can only imagine that she's volunteering herself to Strahd.
Oh, then
Of course
by
she
the
is.
gods I failed. Then by the
Well.
gods I failed.
Work to be done. Work to be done. Okay. Step the first. I had detected the bone. Or I detected what I assume were the bones on the other side of this. The other side of the hallway over there. Were they there? Or were those taken too?
If you have the strength to walk there, expedited search would indeed yield 2 items.
Yeah, I will. I'm kind of trying to guide us in a. I need to be doing something right now to try and solve this because I do not want to be thinking about what just happened. And
Right.
action is important. Action is
Keeping
useful
yourself
and
moving, you maneuver to the kitchen. This kitchen contains a square table surrounded by chairs and shelves of provisions. It is about over yonder. There's a door to the north. As the priest follows you in suit, make sure that you are not tripping over objects, providing healing all the while. You see this is where Henrik prepares meals. There's tasteless bread and moldy cheese that lays alongside some beets, a clove of garlic, and an almost empty bottle of Red Dragon crushed wine. Past that door, there's a modest bed chamber that holds a cot and several well-made pieces of furniture, including a table, a padded chair, a bookshelf, and a wardrobe. The wardrobe catches your attention. It is from this direction that you've detected the holy artifacts.
I will go and open the wardrobe. I'm assuming that everyone has followed me at this point.
If they wish.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and roll me
Yeah.
perception, and somebody else can roll perception to assist if they so wish, to see how much you find within the wardrobe.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
I'm just out that you're alive. Okay, I'm looking at you with a lot of surprise.
The
Oh, and
southeast.
that should technically have had guidance on it
Oh, even
because
better.
I had guidance.
Even better then. Okay. The southeast corner of the wardrobe has a secret compartment at its base. You find it, and inside the compartment are 2 sacks. A large one containing the bones of Saint Andral, unmistakable and confirmed by the priest beside you. You see a skull, a couple of femurs, a rib cage, almost a full skeleton within the sack. A smaller sack contains the rattle of coins, 30 silver pieces and 12 electrum pieces. Supposedly the payment taken for stealing the bones, or wages, you're not sure. All of the coins bear the profile visage of Strahd Franzarovich.
Well, I don't want to take a man's livelihood, particularly one as desperate as Henrik is. So I'm trying to remember. Gold to silver is 10, right?
Yes.
Gold to silver conversion.
Yes.
10, right? So, okay, I'll go ahead and replace 3. I'll take the silver and put 3 gold pieces in its place.
Okay.
Because I would like to collect the silver, because I have other uses of the silver potentially. Well,
We find silver.
yes. That is very rare. And hopefully we can powder this and maybe...
We need to think of these things one thing at a time, and we'll reunite at a later time. By the gods, what do we do with the man who stole the bones? Says the priest.
Something. You died for it. I think it's only fair you decide. Whatever you want to do, I'll agree with it.
I'm but a priest, I'm no judge. I'm afraid the Burgermeister is the judge, and I fear that he won't be as merciful as I can be.
If we tell people, he'll be killed.
Capital
Even what
punishment in Vallaki is a rarely witnessed thing. But,
Really? I'm actually a little relieved at that. I was concerned by the behavior that all dissenters would be removed. The issue is I can't necessarily blame Henrik. He was a lost man. But he needs to learn.
I will leave him in your hands. I must attend to things of my own. I must prepare for what's to come. I fear that with every
Get these. Yes. Get the bones. Try and reestablish the protection of the church.
It will take the better
nothing
part
else,
of a
we need a
day to
base.
hollow the church grounds, if you excuse me. And grabs the bones if you
Yes.
let him.
Oh yes, I will quite happily hand the bones to him and say, we need that. We need somewhere safe. We need a plan to be able to get Helena back.
Okay, I want to inspect Samson's body. I mean, he had like a cut on his neck and his torso, I think you say, or his abdomen, really.
Whatever lethal wounds he suffered while he was unconscious healed almost instantaneously by the mist, which coalesced in a veil around his body for a moment and then reshaped his body.
Okay, and there's no
curiosity. Scarring on those or nothing?
No, not a trace. Nothing but the mark.
Wow.
Well,
Something very powerful brought you back, Sam.
yes. And my concern is that based off of this mark, it wasn't Saloon. Which means that I'm now...
It looks like a black orb at the center, with almost like a black halo around it, and like a half crescent marking something. I'm not sure what marks it, just that symbol and like the black veins running down.
Yeah.
So not Saloon's mark for sure.
Well, we should probably need to figure out what we're going to do with Henrik.
Mm-hmm. That is something that you guys are going to figure out next session, as I'm going to call it here. In summary, It will take the better part of a day, as I mentioned, to hollow the church grounds, which I'm going to do over a chat essentially. Passing out to the next day. Father Lucian thanks you all for your aid, and he, going forward, offers his holy services to you. Should you ever need a place to commune with the gods, or seek lore on their own, or reagents of holy and the divine, the doors of St. Andral's Church are open to you forevermore. He's ever thankful for your help to stay.
Thank you, Father.
Yes. In terms of what that means, if you need holy water, if you need silver, the church will provide. Anything of that. Where they're getting silver from? The Vistani, silversmiths. We can do that all over RP. I'm getting tired. I'm after a 12-hour shift, so it's to that point where...
Yeah.
Well, we can leave it here, don't worry.
Yeah, this is probably a fairly good spot to stop.
Well, Tom, thumbs up, okay? It was amazing.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I had fun as well. It's nice to run this again, but different this time.
Yeah, and the monster really, like, the last fight on the shadow, I just have, like, that memory, and was like, yeah, we killed it last time, so, and suppose these guys are easy.
No.
God, no.
So here's a mind blower, real quick. I can say this is not meta because whatever, I'm doing my things my way. I'm changing things anyways. So that was easy. In the module, you fight 6 vampire spawn.
That's flat out. You can't beat that at this level.
CR 18 fight. I calculated it and I was like, that is dumb. I don't know why it's the module. Everybody on Reddit, every DM on Reddit is like, don't run this.
The only thing I can think of is that it's intended as it kill players
You just run. You get punished for being heroic, essentially. And I'm like, that's not fun for anyone.
Isn't that essentially what the dragon fight in the Lost Mine of Fandalvar is?
The what fight?
It was pretty.
You know, in Lost Mine of Fandalvar, the dragon fight, and that's basically what that is.
So you can outsmart the dragon. These are hostile regardless of what you do. The only thing you could have done is in my control, and that's Irina. I just figured like, how can I stop this, right? So I'll just do my own thing, whatever. But like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, who runs 6 vampire spawn? Like, at level...
that's like a straight up lethal. There's nothing. Because I'm just trying to think. Let me just double check something.
Like the party, if I drop at level 3, you guys are not even supposed to be level 4 right now. You're supposed to be level 3. At level 3, you have no silver weapons, no radiant damage, no nothing. It's like insane. So I was like, I'm gonna make this interesting. I'm gonna throw some kobold vampires in there. I'm gonna make it like a balanced fight, more or less, with like a very challenging boss, and see where it goes. You know, maybe players will get creative. But like channel Undead, turn Undead.
That's not enough.
The ghasts have resistance to that.
Yeah.
3 enemies resist that.
Yeah.
Like we were down to 3 players today. I was like, the action economy is so against us. I was waiting that the zombies were like literally zombies, simple zombies, nothing major.
Yeah. It's like I think the highlight of today's session too was like Connell actually surviving by rolling a natural 20. That was nice.
Yeah, that was very nice. Very lucky.
Killing players feels bad. Killing pets, like, I don't want to do this, but like it's literally what she would do. She's an evil vampiress. Like,
never kill a dog.
Yeah.
I was like when I was in the coin or in the amulet, I was like, oh my god, what do I do after healing Samson? Like, we're gonna die after this. I'm gonna get out just to die, okay? Let's do it. For the faith.
Yeah, the things I was looking at with that is there wasn't ever a good chance to fully run without effectively taking the full attacks of opportunity and just dying anyways. And so I was trying to back my way up while getting Twilight Sanctuary each turn to try and buy me an extra hit.
You can leap out the window. If you like athletics, you can probably wrench the irons out of the framing or whatever. You can make a hole in the wall if you have like explosives or whatever. You can make a hole in the floor. That's another escape too. People don't realize that you can just make holes in floors and fall to the bottom. They'll chase you. Vallaki will probably get terrorized, but action consequence. But overall, I was just like, it's a tough fight. Yeah. Let's make it fair though.
Out of curiosity.
Super sector, okay? I was like jumping so many times out of it. I was gonna drop the amulet through the window, but I was not. I can save him. I could.
Yeah, no, you couldn't. Samson, the moment I had the cobalt hit me once I was down, Samson was dead. There was no way he was surviving that. The other one, I'm just out of curiosity. Had I stopped Aya from opening all of the boxes at once, I'm assuming that wouldn't have changed anything because the boxes were not secure enough to actually hold anything in.
You trigger one, and I sort of have it like they trigger everybody because otherwise it's kind of silly. Having enemies.
Question:
sleep.
If we just went into the other bloody room and not in that one, nothing would have fucking happened. Here we go.
Yep.
They're dormant during sunlight essentially. So I was like, if they want to fuck around and find out, they'll fuck around and find out, I guess.
Yep.
I find out. Okay.
But I'm gonna say this: if you don't deal with them, there's consequence.
Oh, of course.
Oh, there's always.
Yeah, I imagine that.
I'm not gonna say what that consequence is, but you can rest assured that you've done like a good thing. more or less.
Yeah, the basic way I look at Curse of Strahd is, no matter what we do, things go badly.
People die.
The question is just, what level of bad?
We are like the Winchesters. Okay, we say 10 people and 300 died in the other side. Do you guys see what Supernatural or
Yeah.
I've seen seasons. Bits and pieces. I have not watched, and I refuse to get started on something that's 13-something seasons long. I do not have time for that. I know, but I do not have time for that.
It should have stopped like after the 5th. After that is like borrowing time, a lot of borrowing time. But it was pretty good until the 5th, I think.
Hang it this way for a second, right? We're catching up in shows. Like, hang it this way for a second, right? I never really watched One Piece as a show. I never really watched it. And I was like, you know what, I'm finally going to get to watch it. That thing's got like 700 odd fucking episodes at this point. And I'm on episode 100 odd.